Got the club going up on a Tuesday at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues begin a 5-game homestand. It starts with 3 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. A day off on the 4th of July. They come right back in action to play the Walnut Creek Crawdads. But for now, standing in their way is the kids from Pasadena in the Arroyo Seco Saints. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini for you on the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blues streaming network, getting you set for the Saints and the Blues. Some CCL contest here at Sinsheimer Stadium before that day off on the 4th of July. Ryan, the Blues are coming off 2 games in a row lost to the Santa Barbara Foresters. They just are kind of stumbling into this game, and they took a loss the last time they played a couple days ago, 5-4, and what I think personally was the most gut-wrenching loss of the summer for the Blues.
Yeah, it absolutely was gut-wrenching. I mean, the Blues score 3 in the top of the 8th after the offense was pretty dormant the entire game. And it gives them a 3-run lead, and then right away in the bottom of the 8th, you give up 4 runs, and that ends up giving the Foresters the win. And yeah, just really overall, you thought that they were maybe going to squeak that one out after no offense all day long and a tough week altogether, and they were just unable to do it in the late innings.
They got a good start from their pitcher, Bryce Johnson from Oregon State University. 4 innings of work, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, just 1 hit, but didn't allow any earned runs. Allowed 1 run, but it was not earned. And you would think that would be a good enough cushion for this Blues offense to come through and tack on some runs against the Foresters, but they have a nasty rotation themselves. Zach James came out and started for Santa Barbara. He's typically a bullpen arm for the Foresters, but in 6 innings of work, he didn't allow a single run and hurled 5 strikeouts against the Blues. And that's another part of their offense that desperately needs to get fixed now that we're over halfway through the summer, and we can't talk about it enough. Those strikeouts continue to plague San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, they do. The Blues are just putting themselves in tough situations where they're getting an 0-2, 1-2 counts, and then they have to chase outside the zone to try to keep the at-bat alive. I mean, it doesn't help that in the CCL, pretty historically, the umpires have larger zones. It's harder for hitters. But, the teams are dealing with the same strike zone, and the Blues consistently are having more strikeouts than their opposing team. So the Blues just have to figure out how to put themselves in better situations. They're going to get a fastball-heavy starter today in Brady Nelson, so they have to be ready to attack the fastball. And then if they do fall behind in a count, just be ready to protect.
Yeah, fastball heavy from Brady Nelson today from St. Cloud University. Fastball, slider, curveball, and you will rarely see the changeup. The best secondary pitch you'll see from him is that slider, but the Blues got to be sitting dead red fastball and attack it as best as they can, because wins right now kind of at a premium as they're fighting for that playoff spot in the CCL North. They're 3.5 games outside of the Sonoma Stompers, who beat the Menlo Park Legends just a couple days ago, and that grows larger and larger, that margin between Sonoma and San Luis Obispo. That's just the name of the game right now. Can you be better than the Stompers, and can you get away from the Menlo Park Legends, who are just half a game away from San Luis Obispo? And it's games like today, even though it's a CCL South opponent, it does still count for CCL play. You got to take every game as a precious opportunity to make it to the postseason.
Blues have 5 really tough games this week, and it's going to be a test for them to see what this team is made of. 3 against the Saints, who are currently sitting in 3rd in the South, and then you have 2 this weekend after the day off on the 4th against the Walnut Creek Crawdads, who sit atop the North. So maybe 3 or 5 really tough games this week, and then even after that, you got 2 against the Foresters. So your next 7 games, you're playing arguably 3 of the best teams in the CCL, and it's really going to show what this team has and what kind of fight they got in them.
I think more importantly than this game today for the Blues, we should talk about the players that are exiting this team that we found out today. Donovan Jordan will be gone by the end of the week. Mason Ashlock just hit the exits today. Brendan Comerford also not returning for San Luis Obispo. Those are humongous bats to this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you're even losing guys like Luke Kovac, who started a couple games for the Blues. And, that's a big loss to the rotation. But, especially those 3 hitters. Those are 2 of our 3 qualified hitters thus far this season. So you're losing a ton of production in the middle of that order. I mean, 2 of those guys are in the lineup today, Jordan and Comerford, and I would not be surprised if both of them have multi-hit games. That's just kind of what we expect from them as Blues fans, because they're dogs out there in the playing.
Well, we look to relish every last moment with those bats in the lineup today. We'll send it down to the field right after this. Thanks for watching the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. A Hum-U Tuesday at Sinsheimer Stadium, a tranquil day on the Central Coast as the Blues take on the Arroyo Seco Saints for the second time this summer, and they enter a 3-game set against the team from Pasadena, California. We're all set and ready to go here from Sinsheimer Stadium. A beautiful afternoon with some gusts coming in from the Central Coast Valley from the winds of Morro Bay, California, as we get you set for today's action between the Blues and the Saints. Let's introduce you to the starting lineup for each squad. First, let's start with the Arroyo Seco Saints. Leading off for the Saints, it's Lane Haworth, the center fielder. Trotter Enright, the shortstop, bats second, with Jax Ryan, the third baseman, batting third. Jacob Freer, the second baseman, cleans it up with the right fielder Joey Miltle batting fifth. J.J. Kinnett catches and bats sixth, with Levi Medella playing first base and batting seventh. Cody Turner is the DH batting eighth, and Gannon Snyder plays in left field and rounds it out in the ninth spot for Arroyo Seco. Here's a defensive alignment for your San Luis Obispo Blues. Cam Andrews throws down the sides behind home plate. Tolman at first, Murillo at second, Comerford at third, Ardois at short. The outfield left to right is Hart Royal Jordan with Suzuki DHing. And on the mound for the Blues, making his second start of the summer for San Luis Obispo, it's Charlie Royal, the righty from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He faces Lane Haworth for his first batter of the day. First pitch swung on and tapped to Tolman, who will glove it himself and tap first base at 6:03 p.m. We are underway. Game time temperature 67 degrees and sunny.
Beautiful day for some baseball and a great start there for Arroyo. One pitch, one out, exactly how the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. That's best case scenario, and not often you see first pitch swinging, especially in a developmental league like this one. In the CCL, you're playing summer baseball. You're trying to get as many reps as possible. You don't see first pitch swinging often. Here's Trotter Enright, and he takes strike one against Royal. Trotter, the shortstop, batting second, and one of the many left-handed hitters in today's lineup for the Saints. Blues are coming off a series against the Foresters where they saw a plethora of lefties. 0-1, and the curveball's in there for a called strike. Royal is making his second start of the summer. He's pitched in 2 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs, while allowing just 1 hit against the Santa Maria Indians. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trotter's a rising sophomore at Long Beach State and a native of Newberry Park, California. From the windup, here comes Royal, the pitch. Fastball chopped down the right side, and it's foul. Enright this summer has 24 hits in his 66 at-bats. That's good for a .364 batting average. And a good ratio in terms of walks and strikeouts. 10 walks to his 5 Ks this summer for the Saints. With one out, here's the 1-2 pitch to Enright. Takes inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trotter just finished up his true freshman season at Long Beach State, where he started in 28 of his 31 appearances. A .240 batting average with 8 runs driven in, no home runs. The 2-2. Pitch taken low and outside, that's ball 3.
0-2 to 3-2. They got to come in to Trotter Enright, who's probably the best hitter in this Saints lineup, batting in the 2-hole today. And he has the advantage at the plate in the left-right matchup. He's the team leader in batting average for Arroyo Seco, so that sentiment would be correct. Here's the payoff. Enright swings and misses for strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Charlie Royal, and there's 2 gone in the first. Way to attack with the fastball as Enright tells Ryan what he got from him. Makes him see a lot of pitches. That's a quality at bat. Even though you strike out, you see 6 pitches. It's just going to help your team out that you were able to see so many pitches that Royal has to offer. Yeah, here's Jax Ryan, the former Sun Devil from Arizona State, batting third. The pitch. Swings at the first offering. Comerford gloves it, throws across his body, and in time to retire the side. Easy 3 up, 3 down at the top of the first inning for Charlie Royal. We head into the bottom of the first inning on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the first inning, 1-2-3 inning for the starting pitcher for the Blues, Charlie Royal. Let's meet the starting lineup for your San Luis Obispo Blues. E.J. Royal, no relation, plays center field and leads it off. Diego Murillo, the second baseman, bats second, with Don Jordan playing in right, batting third. Cleaning it up, it's Zach Tullerman, he plays first, with Logan Hart, the lone left-handed batter in tonight's lineup, playing in left field and batting fifth. Brendan Comerford mans the hot corner and bats sixth, with Kosei Suzuki DHing and batting seventh. The shortstop is Sam Ardois, he bats eighth, and Cam Andrews, the sign thrower, bats ninth for San Luis Obispo. Here's a defensive alignment for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's Connect behind the dish, Medella at first with Freer at second, Jax Ryan at third with Trotter Enright at short. The outfield left to right is Snyder, Haworth, and Milto with Turner DHing. And on the mound for the Saints, making his first start of the summer for Arroyo Seco, it's the righty from St. Cloud, Brady Nelson. Typical 3-pitch mix you're going to see out of Brady Nelson for a righty. He's fastball, slider, changeup. He also mixes in the curveball a little bit, but really relies on that fastball. We're looking at his scouting report, and he actually prefers the fastball on every single count. So he'll throw a lot of fastballs, and then he'll mix in the slider and curveball about 20% of the time each. And that changeup, he's only thrown 3 of them this year. Brings him to about a 4% rate of that changeup. He impatiently waits on the rubber, getting set in the lineup against the leadoff man, E.J. Royal. Here's the first offering. Royal takes a fastball, what do you know, for strike 1. And Nelson's making his 4th appearance of the summer for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 9 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 8 hits. Here's the 0-1. Royal pokes it the opposite way. The second baseman, Freer, gobbles it up and throws it over to first. 1 out in the first inning. Royal was just out in front of the fastball and whirled it over. Not a great-looking swing in an 0-1 count.
Here's Diego Murillo, batting second today for the Blues. He's been getting rewarded lately for his ability to put bat on ball and his good defense up the middle. Playing second base today as he awaits the first pitch from Nelson. Murillo swings at the first offering and sends it out of play for strike one.
Yeah, Murillo's been slumping a little bit, you could say. He has recorded just 2 hits in his last 18 at-bats.
Here's the 0-1. Murillo swings and misses on that slider for strike two. The Blues are returning from a road trip against the Santa Barbara Foresters a couple days ago. And Murillo had a hit in the 8th inning against the Sturs that time. He was 1 for 5 that day. Scored on an error late in the ballgame. 0-2. Murillo takes it off speed outside, a ball and 2 strikes. And already we're seeing Brady Nelson go into his back pocket and reach for those secondary pitches, even though he prefers that 4-seam fastball. Here's the 1-2. Murillo takes another slider outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
As I mentioned, pretty fastball heavy guy. He throws that pitch 55% of the time, so it's weird that we're seeing so many sliders the first time through.
Here's the 2-2. Diego chops it the opposite way, and into the 4-hole it goes, a base hit. 1-out single for Diego Murillo. There goes the no-hitter for Brady Nelson, and there's a runner on first for the Blues.
It's a great 2-strike approach there. He choked up on the bat, got a pitch out in the zone, and he just threw the barrel at it and was able to find some outfield grass for a base hit. It's what the Blues need more of today, some good 2-strike approach where you're not trying to just kill the ball at that point, you're just trying to get on base.
We were informed today that Don Jordan will be leaving the Blues by the end of this week. He bats third today and stands in as the best hitter in this lineup overall for San Luis Obispo. First pitch, Jordan is popping it up into shallow right center field. Haworth gets called off by his right fielder, who drops it. An error by Milto in right, going over the command of Haworth in center. And Jordan reaches on error in the first and puts a runner in scoring position.
Those are just mistakes at this point in the season that you would hope are eliminated if you're the Saints. But, I mean, Milto has to know better than that. He can't call off Hayworth. He's the center fielder. He is priority out there.
Yeah, that's not just in the middle of a season thing. That's something you learn when you're playing travel ball as a kid. That's the second time this summer Jordan has reached via a dropped fly ball in right field. It happened against the San Francisco Seagulls a couple of weeks ago. Here's Zach Tallman. He's first pitch swinging, but it lines underneath the glove of Ryan at third. Regalado tells Murillo to send it. Here comes the throw. It's way above the head of Kennett at the plate. And Zach Tallman drives in the first run of the day with an RBI single.
Blues offense is here to hit today, man. They are not messing around at the plate. A couple of hits. That ball was smoked right at the third baseman, and he could have had a play on it, but it would have been a phenomenal backhand by Ryan. Instead, it ends up as a RBI, and the Blues have 2 on, but just 1 out.
The Blues are cooking here in the bottom of the first inning. Tallman hit that single and advanced to second base on the throw. So Murillo scores the first run of the day off the bat of Zach Tallman, who's our reigning player of the week. With 1 out, here's Logan Hart with 2 in scoring position. Fastball dotted on the outer half for strike 1. Hart stands in as the only left-handed hitter in today's lineup for the Blues. Last got to start against the Santa Maria Indians on the 27th of June. 0-1. Hart takes it inside, 1 ball and a strike. Logan against the Santa Maria Indians went 2 for 3. A couple of singles, one of them driving in a run. Hit by pitch and a walk, scoring 2 runs against Santa Maria. With 1 out, the 1-1. Hart buckled up on a slider and it misses inside, 2 balls and a strike. Talked about how the last time he appeared and started in a game for the Blues was June 26th against the Indians. Welcome to the first day of July. The 2-1. Hart takes it inside. A slider blocked by Knet behind the dish. 3-1. Is July a special month? Like, is there a theme to this month? We just celebrated Pride Month. February is Black History Month.
I will find out.
Would love to know. 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Here's 3-1 to Hart, who swings and misses for strike 2. 4th of July is obviously this month, and the Blues will celebrate the nation's independence on July 3rd with the fireworks game, which is sold out. Sold out a couple of weeks ago. Full count to Logan Hart, with a wide open stance in that lefty batter's box. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded to the second baseman, Freer, who takes it on a short hop and flips it over to first in time for the second out of the inning. But it does score Don Jordan from third. An RBI ground out from Logan Hart makes it a 2-0 game.
It's a productive out. You score a run on the ground out. The Blues have a 2-0 lead early, and they still have a chance to score some more. The team leader in RBIs at the dish, and a runner 90 feet away from scoring.
An error comes back to haunt Arroyo Seco, a drop fly ball from Milto and right, who ignored the ball call from his center fielder Haworth, who has priority. Here, like you said, a team leader in RBIs and Brendan Comerford in that righty batter's box. Brendan takes the first pitch and a called strike. Comerford batting 6th today and playing in his native position of third base. He started at that same spot 2 days ago against the Foresters, or he came in to replace Gavin Constantine in that spot, struck out twice against Santa Barbara. Here's the 0-1. Comerford pops it up down the right field line. Milto gives chase, but he will run out of room. It's a foul ball on strike 2. Anything on the month front?
No, it doesn't really look like it. I mean, there's a plethora of things. National Ice Cream Month, National Picnic Month.
Ooh, Ice Cream Month. Comerford loves ice cream.
It's true.
He was asked what his favorite sandwich was, and the answer was an ice cream sandwich. Here's the 0-2. Comerford takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zach Tellerman stands on third base. He drove in the first run of the day for the Blues. They lead 2-0 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. The 1-2. Comerford pops it up in the same exact location and will do it again in the 1-2 count. Murillo singled the first base hit of the day for the Blues. Don Jordan reached on error in right field, and Tellerman drove in Murillo. And now Jordan scored on an RBI ground out from Logan Hart. Now we're here in a 2-0 game with 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Brendan Comerford. Here's the pitch. Brendan pops it up to right center field. Haworth and Milton have better communication this time as Milton makes the grab, and the side is retired. But the Blues strike first, 2-0 off a Zach Tellerman RBI single and an RBI ground out from Logan Hart. We head into the second on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the second inning, and the Blues lead 2-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. Zach Tollerman drove in a run with an RBI single. He's the reigning Blues player of the week. And Logan Hart drove in Don Jordan with an RBI groundout. So now it's the middle of the order due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints as Charlie Royal heads back out there after an easy 1-2-3 inning to begin this ball game. Here's the first pitch to Jacob Freer, and he takes it low and inside for ball one. Freer's today's second baseman batting cleanup for Arroyo Seco. Freer with a .320 batting average. 16 hits in his 50 at-bats as he swings here and fouls it down the right field line for strike one. 1-1 count to Jacob now, who's driven in 10 runs this summer for Arroyo Seco. 9 walks to his 12 strikeouts. Charlie Royal just collected his 5th strikeout of the summer. Very small sample size as he's starting his second game for the Blues. From the windup, here's the 1-1. Freer hits it hard to Murillo, who dives and can't make the play. Single for Jacob Freer. There goes a no-hitter for Royal, and a runner on first to begin the second.
Got a fastball he liked and just pulled it through the 4-hole. A good piece of hitting for the 4-hitter Freer to lead off this inning.
Hit number 17 on the summer for Jacob as Joey Milto steps in. Milto made an error in the bottom half of the second inning. His center fielder Hayworth called him off on a pop-out from Don Jordan, and they collided and Milto couldn't come up with the baseball. Jordan eventually came around to score. First pitch, and Joey swings and misses at a high fastball for strike one.
Very quickly, just got to shake that off, get in the box. It's a new day at the plate, and try to help your team get that run back.
Still early on, a lot of ball game left in the top of the 7th inning. Blues are up 2-0 against the Saints. A pretty chill night at Sinsheimer. 0-1, and he'll take it for a strike. 0-2 to Milto. The third baseman Brennan Comerford pinching at his position at the corner. Milto is 16 of 45 this year, a .356 batting average. He's second on the team in that metric. 2-strike count with no outs and a runner on first. From the stretch, Royal picks over to first, and Tollerman snares it on the grass, on the dirt, for a pickoff move that was not successful. Still 0-2 to Milto. Joey played 3 seasons with the Bellarmine Knights, and now he's in the transfer portal. And he swings and misses here for strike 3. Another elevated fastball from Charlie Royal, and that's Charlie's 6th strikeout of the summer.
Milto could not catch up with any of those fastballs. Got 3 of them all in different locations. Just well-placed pitches by Royal.
A runner on first base, Jacob Freer, who reached on a leadoff single. And with 1 out after the Milto strikeout, it's J.J. Kennett, the catcher, batting 6th. Kennett is 5 for 20 this summer, a .250 batting average, and has driven in a single run. Pitch is yanked outside for ball 1 to Kennett. J.J. played his first season at Baylor this past season with the Bears. Started in 23 games, 18 of 74 for the Big 12 program, a .243 batting average. Drove in 21 runs in his 18 hits. Puts it in the play here. Artois flips to second for 1. Murillo turns the double play, and the side is retired. Another easy frame for Charlie Royal as we head into the bottom of the second inning. The Blues up 2-0 over the Saints on Slow Blues Streaming Network, in an inning brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. Bottom of the second is brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. They have a convenient location in Paso Robles and can be found at myeecu.org. Educational Employees Credit Union. Experience smarter banking. Kosei Suzuki leads it off for the Blues in the frame. He's first pitch swinging and crushes it to left field. Snyder moves back and he runs out of room. It one-hops the wall and goes over the wall. A ground rule double for Kosei Suzuki. 97 miles an hour off the bat for Kosei.
Man, oh man, he's been swinging that thing good recently. He had a RBI triple in the 8th inning that gave the Blues the lead over the Sturs on Sunday, and then first pitch swinging and first pitch hammering is Suzuki on that one, a double.
For Kosei, that's his 5th double of the summer. He now moves into second place for that metric. So now with a leadoff runner in scoring position, it's the shortstop, Sam Ardois. From the stretch, Nelson delivers. Ardois takes low and outside, 1-0. Sam has hit a skid as of late, batting .238 with a .268 on base percentage. But on the summer, 15 hits in his 63 at-bats. Has driven in 8 runs. Ardois takes low, and the pitch kicks away from the catcher Kennett. Suzuki cruises into third base easily on the wild pitch.
Ardois is just one of those guys for the Blues that has been really struggling to see the ball well and get himself in good hitters' counts. But when he does, and he puts barrel on baseball, he crushes the ball.
He's crushed 2 home runs this summer, 4 doubles and a triple. The 2-0. Ardois takes it for a called strike. Sammy's looking for his 9th RBI of the summer with the infield playing in. The Blues up 2-0 and no outs. Is trying to put a baseball in the air somewhere and having Suzuki score from third on the tag. Middle of the infield wide open, the 2-1. Ardois pokes it into the Blues bullpen for strike 2. Sam in the transfer portal after a season at Louisiana Lafayette. Still uncommitted as we are just over halfway through this summer. Starting in his 16th game for San Luis Obispo this day. An OPS just below 700 so far. With no outs, the 2-2. Ardois swings and misses on a curveball that gets away from the catcher Kennett. He fires over to first, and it's in time. Suzuki stays at third. A drop third strike, and the first strikeout of the day for the Blues. That's the first out of the second inning. Ardois goes down chasing on that curveball from Nelson, which we don't see all that often. Ryan and I were just talking about how it's been a very heavy fastball mix for Nelson. And the Blues, not even through the first time through the lineup, are seeing a lot of secondary pitches from the righty. Here's Cam Andrews making his 9th start of the summer as the Blues backstop. He's got an opportunity to extend their lead with a runner 90 feet away. Infield still playing in with 1 out. Here's the first pitch. He takes the first pitch slider, and it's a called strike, 0-1.
And if you're Cam Andrews, you got to see that hole up the middle and just be foaming at the mouth. I mean, if you get it past the pitcher, you're pretty much guaranteed a base hit.
Hitting coach Rene Regalado preaches the up-the-middle approach for this Blues roster, and this would be the exact moment. 0-1. Andrews takes it low, a ball and a strike. Cam has driven in 3 runs this summer. 6 hits in his 23 at-bats, good for a .261 batting average. But he knows how to get on base, 7 walks compared to his 6 strikeouts and 1 hit by pitch. The former Golden Gator from San Francisco State, now in the transfer portal. With 1 out, the 1-1. Sends it right back up the middle, drops it into the right center gap for a base hit. That'll easily score Kosei Suzuki. Andrews rounds first and easily slides into second base with an RBI double. Right on cue, Andrews returns it right to center and extends the Blues lead 3-0.
That's his first extra base hit of the summer, and it was funny because 4 days ago, all 3 catchers that Blues had, none of them had extra base hits. Today, all of them now have at least 1 extra base hit.
Wow. And Nico Button recorded his first extra base hit yesterday, 2 days ago, against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and now Andrews gets on the board. Blues slugging in the second inning. A double from Suzuki, and now a double from Andrews. Here's the leadoff man, E.J. Royal. First pitch slider, and it's a called strike, 0-1. Royal has 3 doubles on the year. 3 doubles and a home run. Hit that home run against the San Francisco Seagulls on the road. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to Freer at second base. The 0-1. EJ takes another sweeper, another called strike, 0-2.
Starting to think the scouting report we got might be bad. So many sweepers and curveballs thus far, and not seen that fastball that often, but I don't blame him. I feel like every single time the Blues have crushed a pitch, it's been on that fastball. So he's going to that secondary stuff, and he's pretty confident with it. Those 2 straight sliders for a strike against Royal.
A deep sigh from Nelson. Now he delivers, and EJ softly rolls it to the right side. Bobbled by Freer. He picks it up, throws it over to first. Barely beats Royal for the second out of the inning. 2 groundouts to second base for EJ Royal today. And that brings up Diego Murillo, who recorded the first base hit of the afternoon for the Blues.
It's a productive out for Royal. Moves a runner 90 feet closer to scoring.
And the Blues, I talked about it against the series, in that series against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Got to get better at smelling blood in the water, and when you have a lead, extend. You can never have too many runs, and the Blues are trying to do that here in the second inning, already up 3-0 against the Saints. The first pitch to Murillo, and it's a sweeper, low and outside, ball 1. Diego, as I said, 1 of 1 today with a single in the first hit of the day for the Blues. Also scored the first run of the day for San Luis Obispo, an RBI single from Zach Tellerman. The 1-0. Arroyo takes it outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Diego uncommitted after a season of Division II baseball at Northeastern State in Oklahoma. The Riverhawks, very productive year there, a .287 batting average for Diego. Looking for a new place to call home now. With 2 outs, here's the 2-0. Diego takes it low, 3 straight balls to Murillo. Murillo, a slow pull, through and through. Grew up in SLO, went to SLO High School, and a Cougar from Cuesta College. Here's the 3-0 count. Diego takes it high, it's ball 4. Snapback throw to third, it gets into left field. Cam Andrews scores easily on the error from Connect, trying to catch him sleeping. 4-0, San Luis Obispo, and already the second error of the day for the Saints.
And both of which have been costly. Don Jordan reached on an error, and he later scored, and now Cam Andrews scores on the free 90.
So Murillo walks. Has reached base in 2 of his 2 plate appearances this afternoon for the Blues, and it brings up Don Jordan. Jordan reached on an error the last time he was up and came around to score an unearned run. First pitch cracking to the third baseman, Ryan, who kicks it off his glove, and Jordan beats it out. Jordan at first and Murillo at second in an inning that won't end for the Blues. And that will be a base hit for Don, his first of the afternoon.
A hard hit ball of smoke. That was going to be really hard for Ryan to glove at third. It was roped right at him.
Here's Zach Tellerman, the reigning player of the week for the Blues. Drove in the first run of the day for San Luis Obispo with his RBI single in the first.
7 for 23 last week with a couple extra base hits, a couple runs batted in. Good enough to earn him that player of the week nod.
And moving that batting average to above 300, a 302 average with a 535 slugging. 2 homers, 2 doubles, and a triple on the season. He's driven in 7. That OPS is up to 915 for Zach Tellerman. With 2 outs, the first pitch. ZT takes a slider for strike 1. A lot of first pitch slider to these hitters, too. We're expecting a lot of fastballs in every count from Brady Nelson, and his approach is just completely turned on its head today against the Blues. The 0-1. Tarman swings and foul tips at a slider, sends it into the backstop for strike 2.
Yeah, it's weird. Our scouting report says an 0-0 counts. He goes to that fastball 58% of the time. So it's about 50-50 whether you're going to get a fastball or an off-speed, but it feels like it's been a lot of off-speeds.
Don Jordan with a healthy lead at first. And Diego Murillo at second base. With 2 outs, here's the 0-2. Tallman takes a sweeper low. Nice leave, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a tough leave. After you see back-to-back sliders that are in the zone, he throws one that ducks just below, and good hold from the first baseman.
Tallman has driven in 7 runs this summer for San Luis Obispo. Trying to be greedy with his team, already up by 4 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1-2. Tallman off the hand, sends it straight back and out of play just to the right of us. We'll do it again into the 1-2 count.
You say be greedy, but not even greedy. The Blues just need to have a comfortable lead. And they thought they were good with 3 the other day against the Foresters and then blew it in the bottom half of the 8th. They're only up 4 right now. And we saw them blow a 6-run lead against the Indians, and Tollerman was able to walk it off for them to win that game. But you want to just keep adding on.
2 looks at second base. Now the 1-2. Tollerman takes a slider just missing below the zone. Everyone in the stadium thought that was a strike, but it's ball 2 against Zach Tollerman. Deuces wild to ZT. 2-run inning, number 22 at the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on base. The pitch. Tallman takes low. That's ball 3. These don't look like they're missing by much. Zach Tallman with a good set of peepers watching those pitches go. The former Cuesta College Male Athlete of the Year in 2023 on the 3-2. Swings it, hits it off the hands into left field. Snyder won't have a play. Murillo comes in to score. Janitor throw that's offline, and Jordan thought about booking it home. Throw goes to second as Tallman takes it off the throw. Now Jordan's in a rundown between third and home. The throw at the plate, they tag Jordan, and he's out. So the run will score on the RBI single from Zach Tollerman, but Don Jordan is thrown out at home. 5-0 San Luis Obispo, a chaotic finish to the bottom of the 2nd. We head into the 3rd, a healthy lead for SLO on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the third of the order. Due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints, and now 5-0 lead for San Luis Obispo as Charlie Royal delivers strike one to Levi Medella.
I'm team trainer. I'm telling my team right now, don't get comfortable.
That's been a big theme this summer for San Luis Obispo, getting up early and kind of letting the other team creep back into this one. We're still in the first third of this ball game in the top third. 0-1. Medella hits it off the end of the bat to Arroyo, who can't glove it at short. It goes into left center field, a base hit. Second knock of the day for the Saints, and it's a leadoff single. Second inning in a row where the Saints have recorded one of those.
It's a pretty well hit ball, but Arroyo just forgetting his fundamentals there. He keeps that glove up by his knee, and it sneaks under. Top low to high. Get it on the ground, and then it's easier to come up than it is to stab down at it. 96 off the bat, though. It's a well-hit ground ball.
Here's Cody Turner, and I am so excited to talk about this kid. Currently uncommitted after a couple of seasons at Antelope Valley College. And somehow we keep finding players that just seem to one-up each other on the slugging. He takes high here, 1-0. So at first it was Will Anderson for the Legends.
It was kind of like Brendan Comerford first with his ungodly season.
700 slugging at Ohlone College. Then it was Will Anderson with the Menlo Park Legends. He had an 800 slugging, 1-0 off the hands and sent straight back for strike one, a 1-1 count. Will Anderson with his 800 slugging, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was Caleb Hoover for the Santa Barbara Foresters with a mid-800 slugging at 840. And then there's Cody Turner. His first year of college baseball, this is serious. We've looked at this multiple times. A 932 slugging. Runner goes and wasn't holding on second base. Medella steals easily. 932.
Yeah, almost 50% of his hits in his collegiate career are extra base hits.
How do I explain this to the audience? It's ridiculous. 1-2. Chops it into the ground on the right side, and it's into right field, a base hit. Stop sign at third. Medella stays at the bag. The throw is wild, but a single for Cody Turner, and back-to-back singles for the Saints. We'll get into that a little bit more on a lengthier at-bat from Turner. But
I'll think about how to quantify that for a non-baseball mind.
For now, an average college slugging
450,
455.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 932. People are lucky.
About double.
Yes, people are lucky if they have a 932 OPS, which is slugging plus on base percentage. Anyways, here's Gannon Snyder. Pick over to first, and Turner's back in time. Here's Snyder, the 9-hole hitter, playing in left field today. He had 2 janitor throws in a row this past inning when the Blues were in offense. Snyder in the transfer portal after a couple of seasons at Wichita State. He backs out of the way of a fastball inside, 1-0. The rising junior from St. Louis, Missouri, playing summer baseball in Los Angeles. The Saints located in Pasadena, California, as close as you could be to the Rose Bowl. They share a parking lot with the Rose Bowl. The 1-0. Snyder takes low, 2 balls and no strikes. And that field is truly historic. The Chicago White Sox used to play in practice games at that stadium. Jackie Robinson Field, right next to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Literally, if you turn your head around at the field where the Saints play, you will see the Rose Bowl. 2-0 is hit hard into center field. Royal moves to his right, makes the catch, but the runner Medella tags from third and will score. Sacrifice fly for Gannon Snyder, and the Saints get on the board in the third.
See, this is where the Blues can't get too comfortable. You trade a run for an out, which is totally okay, up 5, but now you got to keep it at just that. You're a ground ball away from getting out of this inning. And the Blues would love to just only get the 1 run of damage after giving up back-to-back base hits to start the inning.
Cody Turner stayed at first base on that sacrifice fly. So there's a runner on first, and Lane Hayworth, and you talk about get a ground ball, he grounded out on the first pitch he saw to Zach Tollerman for the unassisted putout today. With 1 out, he swings and hits the first pitch he sees again to Tollerman once again, who takes it off his chest and will tap first again for the second out of the third inning.
2 pitches, 2 ground outs to Tollerman, and right there, that was a tailor-made double play ball to the first baseman, but it just took a weird hop right at Tollerman, who's playing in on the infield grass, and it looks like there's some ground under repair over by first base that could have caused that ball to just jump up into his chest, and you just get the one out, but you're still 1 out away from getting out of this inning with just 1 run across.
So here's Trotter Enright, who struck out swinging the first K of the day for Charlie Royal in the first. He's got a runner in scoring position in Cody Turner, who advanced on that ground ball out. First pitch swinging on the off speed. It's strike 1 to Enright. Trotter, today's shortstop, batting left-handed. Entered today's game as the team leader in batting average at .364. With an upright batting stance, the dirtbag from Long Beach State now digs in the lefty batter's box. With 2 outs, the 0-1. Enright swings and misses. Snapback throw to second. Artois keeps it in front. The runner is safe, but it's strike 2 to Enright, 0-2. Enright graduated Camarillo High School in 2024. His squad won the CIF Southern Section Division IV championship his senior season. That's the first time since 2002 as he pokes it the other way. Comerford botches it at third and will glove it and can't make the throw to first. An error from Brendan Comerford. Comerford pulled up a little too early. This was softly hit over to third and a playable baseball for Brendan Comerford. I think he just pulled up a little bit too early before throwing it over to first. And by the time he was able to recover that baseball, the runner in Enright was already at first base. So Turner advances to third and Trotter Enright's at first. Runners at the corners with 2 outs as Jax Ryan steps in. He grounded out to Comerford the last time he was up, and Brendan successfully made the play. The first pitch, Ryan his first pitch swinging on a slider for strike 1. Jax in the transfer portal after a couple of seasons at Arizona State. A Verdigris, Oklahoma native fell victim to a loaded infield for the Sun Devils this season. Hence his decision to enter the transfer portal. With 2 outs, the 0-1. Ryan takes away 1-1. This past season with ASU, a .281 batting average and a .377 on base. So useful numbers. The only problem is he had a couple of All-Americans up the middle. Kyle Walker at second, a transfer from Grambling State, and Matt King, who exploded on the scene after transferring from UT San Antonio. Here's the 1-1. Ryan hits it off his bat, and it bleeds into right field, a base hit, as Turner will score easily. An RBI single for the 3-hole hitter, Jax Ryan, makes it a 5-2 ball game in the third. Here come the Saints.
Saints are marching, and the Blues do not want to continue this inning. They already put a 5 in this game and have the lead, and they want to keep a lead. They don't want to lose that lead just like they did against the Foresters the other day where they blew it all in the bottom of the 8th. You want to just maintain a lead.
An inning that won't die for Arroyo Seco as Enright stands on second and Ryan on first. First pitch to Jacob Freer is a called strike, 0-1. Jacob recorded the first hit of the day for Arroyo Seco, a leadoff single in the second inning. He's a Cougar from Azusa Pacific, entering his sophomore campaign as a native from Bellevue, Washington. Royal comes set, peeks at second, now delivers. Curveball nestles into the zone for strike 2. Freer has driven in 10 runs this summer for Arroyo Seco as he looks to keep this nightmarish inning alive. 0-2. Takes it in the dirt. Now a ball and 2 strikes. 17 hits in his 51 at-bats this summer for Freer. 12 Ks to his 9 walks this summer for the Saints. The lefty with runners on first and second gets ready against Charlie Royal, the Cal Poly Mustang. With 2 outs, the 1-2. Freer hits it hard, but out of play off to the right. Levi Medella led off this inning with a single. He scored on a sacrifice fly. Cody Turner singled right after him, and he came around to score on a Jax Ryan single. Enright's on second, and Ryan is at first. Here's the 1-2. Hit the opposite way and into the Blues parking lot. Again, a 1-2 count to Jacob Freer. 3 hits this inning for Arroyo Seco, bringing in 2 runs. Trotter Enright reached on error, and he's in scoring position. A tying run at the dish in Freer. The 1-2. Jacob hits it softly to the shortstop Artois, who will tap second base himself as he leaps over the runner Jax Ryan, who slid in for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Saints collect a couple of more on a sac fly and an RBI single. It's 5-2 San Luis Obispo. Into the bottom of the 3rd we go on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues now lead 5-2. The Saints scored on a sacrifice fly and an RBI single in the top half of the 3rd inning. The Blues looking to extend now over Arroyo Seco, trying to head off the Saints at the pass. 5-6-7. Logan Hart, who is 0 for 1 today, digs in. Hart drove in the 2nd run of the day for San Luis Obispo, an RBI ground out in the 1st inning. The Titan from Cal State Fullerton is the leadoff man this frame. First pitch is a slider and a called strike from Brady Nelson, who heads out there for his 3rd inning of work. Nelson had allowed 8 hits in his 9 innings of work before today's game. He's already let up 6, and he's entering his 3rd inning. Hart swings and pops it up high to left field. Snyder calls off his center fielder Hayworth and makes a flat-footed grab for the 1st out of the inning. Fly ball out for Logan Hart, and it brings up Brendan Comerford, who flew out himself in the 1st.
Number 2, the 3rd baseman, Brendan Comerford.
Comerford wearing some new batting gloves. Recently bought some new baby blue BGs, now wearing the all black. With 1 out, Comerford takes it low, 1-0.
It's interesting. I remember we talked to him about those baby blue batting gloves.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, and he was telling us about how he feels weird with them on because it's not a normal color that he wears. But we're like, dude, don't feel weird. There's so many other guys on the team that wear baby blue as well.
It's a trend, I would say, too. Comerford takes a strike, 1-1.
I feel like baby blue is just becoming more and more of like a preferred color in sporting equipment and colors for teams and stuff like that.
I'm so here for it.
Me too.
The 1-1. Comerford sends it straight back for strike 2. Earlier today, I described the scene at Sinsheimer as chill. I think that perfectly depicts it. Very tranquil Tuesday. Here's the 1-2. Comerford swings and misses for strike 3. It's a drop third strike. They'll throw it over to first, and Comerford's retired. Very quick 2 outs here for Brady Nelson after the Blues have scored in their past 2 innings, a 2 spot in the first and a 3 spot in the second.
Yeah, it almost feels like the Blues offense is a little depleted after giving up 2 runs in the third. And as we said, you can't get comfortable, can't get complacent. Blues just need to put more runs up if they want to beat this team. The Saints have proven that they can hit and score runs.
Here's Kosei Suzuki, who led off the second inning with a double. Suzuki takes a first pitch slider for a strike. We got to get new stats, guys, or the Saints have just completely changed their game plan.
Yeah, I mean, this guy throws a ton of sliders, unlike the scouting report said.
Here's the 0-1. Suzuki takes another slider, and it's a called strike, 0-2. A ball off the plate, according to our technology. Suzuki in a 2-strike count. From the windup, here's Nelson. Suzuki takes a sweeper low and outside. He doesn't budge, and it's ball 1. Talked about the departure of a couple of bats in this lineup for the Blues. Brendan Comerford, Mason Ashlock, Don Jordan by the end of this week. That means more playing time for Kosei Suzuki, I would assume. The 1-2. Kosei takes low as it bounces on home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I'm a Kosei Suzuki fan.
Me too.
And, I mean, he's proven us, like, why we should be fans. I mean, he's recorded 2 extra base hits in his last 2 games started. And then the game before that, no extra base hits, but he had a 2 RBI single.
It's really hard for him to hit stride because of lack of playing time. 2-2, he swings and misses for strike 3. Third K of the day for Brady Nelson as it retires the third. Final 2 Blues as we head into the fourth, and I hand it off to my partner and pal Ryan Giacomini on the SLO Blues Streaming Network.
Joey Milton will lead it off as the Blues lead it by 3. Saints are trying to come back here. They scored 2 in the top of the third to cut the lead from 5 to 3. I mentioned Joey Milton will lead off, followed by J.J. Canet and Levi Medella. Those are the 3 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints, facing Charlie Royal, the Mustang, in his 4th inning of work. As swinging and missing at a first pitch changeup is Milton. Milton today struck out, 2nd strikeout victim from Royal. So he watches a fastball up by his front shoulder for a ball. Milto the Knight from Bellarmine, currently in the portal. A lot of people in the portal on both sides of the diamond today, trying to find a new place to attend school and play baseball in the fall.
I believe that number for the Blues is up to 20, right?
Is it not down now?
Well, it was 19, and then I believe a new addition made it 20. Bryce Johnson.
But now it's back to 19 because Jaden Turner announced this morning that he is going to be a Matador.
That's right.
At CSU Northridge. Slider in there for strike 2, and the count evens up at 2-2. Congrats to Jaden Turner. He's been a fun arm to watch all summer, and rightfully so. Gets to play at a Division I school in the Big West. Wicked slider there that misses inside, full count.
That's so well deserved, man. I mean, just day one of watching him pitch for the Blues, you could just tell that's a D1 guy.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Didn't miss by much. Cam Andrews thought it was right there, but it'll be a leadoff base runner. Third inning in a row, the States have had a leadoff base runner. It'll be J.J. Canet.
You know, it's a 50-50 call. And what hurts about that one is it's the first walk of the day issued from Charlie Royal. He had 2 against the Santa Maria Indians the last time he was out there. That's his 3rd walk of the summer. 2 Ks on the day so far. It's kind of a pitcher's pitch for Charlie. And didn't get the call there from Milton.
It's the first pitch to the backstop as it's in the dirt and blocked by the Blues backstop, Cam Andrews. The Bear from Baylor. Got a pretty good time this last year in his first season as a Bear, where he played in 28 games, 74 at-bats with a 243 average. Move over to first, not in time. This summer, he's had 20 at-bats, 5 hits, 4 walks to his 4 strikeouts. A ratio that he kept up last spring in Baylor. He had 22 walks, 5 hit by pitches to his 14 strikeouts. He takes ball 2 inside.
A number I like too from him on that Baylor season, and this is a little old school of me, but more RBIs than hits. 21 ribbies to the 18 hits. I like that.
Yeah, he knew how to drive in runs. That's a number you really don't see all that often anymore at any level of baseball. 2 home runs and a double help support those 21 runs batted in. Here's a 2-0. Fastball, and this is just high. And hitters count for Canet.
I know we like to talk about old school, new school, how to interpret data. I think there is a newer version of RBI. I think the old school was just look at the RBI. And I think we've learned that it's a lot more situational than that. You can't, it's not a complete indicator of how clutch a player is. But there is a new stat that I love to look at now, and I've been obsessed with it lately. It's not breaking or anything.
3-0. There's a fastball right there, 3-1.
WRC plus. I mean, people use it frequently, but lately I've just been on a WRC plus kick.
Explain to the viewers what WRC plus entails for a batter.
It means weighted runs created plus. And it basically tells you, and this is Major League Baseball stuff, but it tells you how much above league average you are in terms of creating runs.
This one is chopped up the middle. Diving is Artois, and it'll slide under his glove. Trying to go first to third is Milto. The throw from Royal is offline. Comerford will throw it to second. The tag is in time. A hit for J.J. Canet, but he's gunned down trying to get to second base. Moving from first to third is Milto. Heads up play by Brendan Comerford.
2 things on that. Milto was flying around the bases. He got a great jump and was legging it out all the way to third. And Comerford, that was a bazooka to second base. My God.
Yes, it was. Comerford, the ball throw from Royal was a little bit in the dirt, so Comerford had to play it on a hop, and he didn't glove it cleanly, kind of rolled up the arm. He couldn't find it, and then as it was coming down, he tracked it, and a little 3/4 missile over to first or second base, and then a really good tag by Murillo. It was almost Canet, who made a really good play at second on the slide. He went with a swim slide, so he brought that left hand up, but Murillo swiped it across, was able to grab his right arm before it touched second base. Andrews is going to talk to his pitcher, Royal.
I think Milto is bleeding over at third. Head first slide into the bag, maybe a piece of the bag or a spike or a glove might have caught him in the face, but an athletic trainer rubbing a cloth over his face right now. You're not allowed to play if you have drawn blood in any way, so he's making sure he got that patched up. If not, maybe some dirt in the eye, but I mean, the athletic trainer was rubbing the face of Milto for quite an extended period of time. And he's all good now, though.
Milto gets tended to at third. He'll stay in the game and continue to run. With one out, he stands on third base for Levi Medella with one out. Medella batting from the left side as he watches ball one away.
The corner's playing into the situation. Third baseman Comerford and the first baseman Tollerman crashing here. That's their ship name.
Tollerford.
Yeah. I got Love Island on my mind, Ryan, in terms of ship names. Voting just opened.
Did it?
For Love Island. You gonna vote?
I don't watch. Should I vote?
Yeah,
Who should I vote for?
You should know nothing and just vote.
I'll do it. Here's the 1-1. This one's hit on the ground to Murillo. The Blues are going to trade a run for an out as he throws it over to Tollerman. It's a 5-3 ball game. Base is empty and 2 outs.
Yeah, the Saints inch closer, but you'll take that trade off. You get 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. You're still up by 2 against Arroyo Seco. They'll take that trade off.
And now Cody Turner's back up, who we talked about his numbers very briefly.
Yes.
Nate, what do you think his WRC plus would be?
Oh my goodness, 300? For perspective, the league average for Major League Baseball is 100.
Huge swing and a miss. He was trying to send that ball to Jupiter. 0-1 to Cody Turner, who recorded a .930 slugging his freshman year as he hits that one hard into left center field. Royal on the run. He will get there, and that one I would say was off the end of the bat for Cody Turner, who goes down for the first time in today's ball game. The Saints get one back as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning, which is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Leading off, it's Sam Ardois. As I remind you that this half inning is brought to you by the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects, where they use their visionary architects bring creativity and expertise to life. Whether it's a new project or reimagining space, let their collective insight work for you. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. First pitch to Ardois is a called strike from Brady Nelson. Nelson in his third inning of work, he's given up those 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, however. Blues still lead it by 2. Here's the 0-1, misses away. Artois struck out, was then thrown out on the drop third, going to first. His last time up. Artois is a man who has tons of power, but has struggled putting bat on ball. 1-1 is a fastball with some run that misses inside. Artois this season, including today's game, 18 strikeouts to his 4 walks. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and hit back up the middle. This one's going to be a base hit. Artois leads it off with the chopper up the middle, and the Blues have a leadoff base runner for the second time in today's ballgame.
The Saints have been leaving that middle of the infield wide open all day today, and I wonder why. The shortstop Enright playing to his right and the second baseman Freer playing to his left. It's left the middle of the field wide open for the Blues, and Artois just took advantage there for the leadoff single.
It's a leadoff base runner for Cam Andrews, who lined a double into the right center field gap his last time up for his first extra base hit of the summer and driving in his 5th run. First pitch to him is a fastball right around the knees for a called strike.
It's been a year-long competition at catcher for the Blues, and Andrews is trying to solidify his name to be a consistent person in that rotation. His name got skipped the other day against the Santa Barbara Foresters down in SB, and with that double today in the second, I'm thinking once or twice about Cam Andrews, who after a couple seasons at SF State is in the transfer portal and is garnering some Division I interest.
Another move over to first. And yeah, I mean, I think the strategy from Dean Traynor there was that Charlie Caruso, who was the catcher the day before, hit a triple. So he was the DH the next day. And then, 3 days prior, Nico Button didn't have his best day, and they were looking to give him a bounce back. Here's the 0-1. It's a called strike. Outer part of the plate, and Cam Andrews is behind 0-2. Hit .290 this last season in his 38 at-bats at SF State. And looking for a new place to play some baseball after SF State shut down their athletic programs. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and sliced the other way. That's going to get down for a base hit. Andrews has another extra base hit today. Rounding second and heading for third. Being waved home is Artois. Here's the throw to the plate. It's cut off! An RBI triple for Cam Andrews. His second extra base hit of the day.
Oh, baby. Cam Andrews showing out. 2 for 2. 2 extra base hits. After coming into this game with no extra base hits. And that was just a perfect, that is how you hit a triple here. A bleeding liner down the right field line, some perfect spin, booking it into the foul territory, bought him some time to stretch it all the way into a 3-bagger.
Cam Andrews has plus speed for a catcher, and he just showed it off right there. And that ball going the other way had tons of slice on it, so it was slicing away from Milto, and then when it hit the ground, it just kept slicing. And Milto was not able to get to it, as half of the way to a cycle is Cam Andrews, and he has arguably the hardest leg of the cycle, which is the triple. A home run's hard to do here as well.
Yeah, what would be harder to do at Sinsheimer, homer or a triple? It's tough to say.
First pitch to Royal is hit very weakly on the ground and right at Enright. Enright will throw it over to first. Medella has to jump off the bag to make the play, but it'll be an out as he landed right back on the bag to get Royal. First out of the day on the ground out.
EJ having some trouble lifting the baseball today, and that's been a point of emphasis for him this summer after collecting a lot of hits last summer for the Blues on the ground, trying to put it in the air a little bit more with some juice, and today hasn't been one that reflects that approach for Royal. A third ground ball out of the day for EJ.
It's Diego Murillo He has a hit and a walk in today's game. He's also scored twice. Another guy for this Blues who is in the portal. She takes ball 1.
So now here with a ground ball from Diego Murillo, who has hit one today already. Andrews will be taking off. That's why the infield's playing in, because they want to make that play at the plate.
Murillo swings and misses over the slider, and the Aces are free. 5 of these 9 Blues in today's starting lineup in the portal. Royal, Murillo, Jordan, Artois, and Cam Andrews. Murillo spent a year playing Division II baseball as he watches that one away. Spent 2 years at Cuesta and a year at Northeastern. So he watches that one in the dirt. He's had some interest from some Division I schools to play a division higher than he did last year.
I don't blame those scouts, man. He's done everything to prove those coaches that he is able to play at that level. As again, look at this, Ryan. Middle of the infield, wide open.
Rio loves going back up the middle, but he watches ball 4 up by his helmet. Runners on the corner and 1 out now for Don Jordan.
Murillo has reached safely in all 3 of his plate appearances today, a single and a couple of walks. That's what you do if you're a top-of-the-order type of guy, and Diego's proven he belongs in that spot.
Coming to this game, Murillo with a .260 average, 13 hits in his 50 at-bats, 5 stolen bases. Now it's Don Jordan. Jordan had the day off on Sunday. He waits the first pitch. Murillo goes. The throw goes all the way to second, and he is hosed. Diego Murillo is caught stealing by J.J. Canet, and all of a sudden there's 2 outs with a runner on third, and the infield can back up.
Everything was executed to perfection that time behind the dish for Canet. A great pop-up time, a throw that was on the money. Freer did a nice job slapping that tag down. Not even the best jump in the world could stop that.
So 1 to Jordan. Now he has a harder job to do. He has to get one through the infield as he watches a slider for a called strike. Jordan 1 for 2, a base hit, and he reached on an error and later scored in the first. Brady Nelson a strike away from getting out of the 4th inning as he yanks that one. 1-2. Don Jordan, a very toolsy guy. Good glove, good arm. Can hit for power, can hit for contact. Also extremely fast around the bases, especially at his 230 pounds as he watches that one high. Deuces wild to John Jordan.
I found out Jordan's official 60-yard dash time the other day.
6.65.
6.39.
That's insanity.
That is flying.
There's the 2-2. He triggered, but the breaking ball misses low. Full count to John Jordan. Andrews stands on third after he ripped a triple the other way. That triple scored Artois to give the Blues their 6th run of the game. And Cam Andrews' 2nd extra base hit. Don Jordan watches a slider right down the middle for strike 3. Jordan goes down on strikes for the first time in today's ball game as we head to the top of the 5th inning. The Blues get another run back on the Cam Andrews triple, and they lead it by 3 on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the Blues is Hunter Hammond. Westmont College pitcher, making his 5th appearance of the summer. This is his 2nd time coming out of relief with an 0-1 record. His 14 innings pitched, he's given up 17 hits, 11 runs, 9 of them earned, 7 walks to his 12 strikeouts. It's good for a 5.79 ERA. However, he has been really dominant in league. In league, Hunter Hammond has thrown 11 innings pitched and only given up 2 earned runs. It's good for a 1.64 ERA. He'll have to face Gannon Schneider, the left fielder, who will lead it off in this inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints as he watches a slider for strike 1.
And coming off a season where he made 9 appearances in 7 starts, a 4.75 ERA as a true freshman at Westmont.
Slider misses low. Similar pitch, just a little bit lower. Gannon Schneider evens it up at 1-1. Schneider to Wichita State this last year as he chops that one back up the middle. Murillo will not make the play, but Artois behind him. His throw to first is wild. Cam Andrews backs it up. It'll be an error on Artois.
I don't think Tollerman saw that ball at first.
Yeah, it looked like it was a pretty decent throw, maybe a little low, but the way Tollerman came off the bag, it looked like it was, 6 feet wide or really high.
Yeah.
Like he had no idea where that was. Fortunately for Artois, it's going to go as an error.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much blame on Sam Artois on that time. I think Tollerman completely lost it out of the hand of Sam because, keep in mind, Tollerman's in the shadows at first, and Artois threw that in the sun from second base. He's the shortstop, but he threw it from second base.
It could be tough for Tollerman to see over there. Because the way he kind of stepped off the bag was like, I got to go get this ball. It's way past me. Fastball down the middle for Hunter Hammond, and he is ahead in the count 0-2. And usually when you see a first baseman have to come off the bag to go chase a ball down that's going to get by him, they're going to turn around immediately and go chase it. But the way Tollerman just came off the bag, it looked like he had no clue where it was. Here's the 0-2, just misses a fastball on the outer part of the plate. 1-2 to the leadoff hitter, Lane Hayworth.
That was a pitcher's pitch right there, well located, right off the black. 50-50 call, a 2-strike count. A little surprised it didn't go Hammond's way.
Pickoff move from Hunter Hammond is over the head of Tollerman. A 6'5" Tollerman is not able to jump up and grab that one down, and E1 will move Gannon Schneider into scoring position. E6 to put him on first, and E1 to move him into scoring position. An ugly inning for the Blues defensively thus far. Yeah,
already the 3rd error of the day for San Luis Obispo, approaching the halfway mark in this ball game. We talked to the broadcasting team for the Saints. They play some sloppy baseball themselves, so we could be in for an error-full day.
1-2 misses upstairs. Yeah, we've already seen 5 total errors in 4 innings. Way above what I would say is the league average.
Error-full. You can trademark that, by the way. I don't think that's a word.
Put it in the dictionary. Nate Mills coming up with new words on the 2-2. Misses high. Full count. Tonight, Hallworth is 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts, both on the first pitch to Tollerman. So this is his longest at-bat of the day, and it isn't even close. Here's the 6th pitch of the at-bat, and it's ball 4. First and second with nobody out for the Saint, and that brings the tying run to the plate. And Trotter Enright, who leads this team in batting average and RBIs.
Yeah, still no outs in this inning in the top half of the 5th. Snyder reached on error, moved to second on error. He would have gotten there anyway on the no-out walk to Hayworth. And Hammond quickly needs a ground ball to at least get 2 here. They'll take the 2 outs for a runner moving at 3rd and gamble a bit.
The infield shifted slightly to the pull side for Trotter Enright as Comerford plays with his toes on the grass. Here's the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses up. Enright, a dirtbag from Long Beach State. Last year, He started in 28 games, 240 with a 354 on base. 5 extra base hits. A throw back to second base is going to give Gannon Schneider an extra 90 feet.
Yeah, Snyder with an aggressive lead coming off second base. He was so far off the bag on the back pick, he thought, I might as well just take another 90 feet and go to third, and it worked out perfectly for him.
Gannon Schneider has gone from the batter's box to third base via 2 errors and a stolen base as Trotter Enright looks at strike 2. There's the pitch. Buckling his knees and missing inside is the shortstop, who graduated from Camarillo High School, where they won the CIF Southern Section Division IV Championship his senior year. The first time they won that in 22 years. Runner goes from first. One is slapped foul.
Foul ball way off into the park there behind the barbecue.
613 on base percentage his senior year of high school, which earned him a spot at the Division I level.
Getting on base more than half the time? That plays.
He shoot more than 60% of the time he's getting on base. That'll work. Slow move to first is not in time. He also drove in the game-winning run in the championship game his senior year against St. Francis. 2-2 pitch. Misses low, and the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. Runners on the corners. It's Schneider on third and Hayworth on first for Trotter Enright.
Middle infield playing at double play depth. They want to get a ground ball right here and turn it.
Enright, 17 RBIs as this one is chopped right back to Hammond. Hammond will knock it down. He'll have no play at first, but it holds the runner at third.
Infield single for Trotter Enright. Too hot to handle for Hunter Hammond at the mound. And by the time it rolled away off his glove, it was too late. Enright booked it down to first base, and with a hard 90, he reaches safely. Dean Traynor taking his time to head out to the hill to talk to his righty Hammond, who, after entering this game, has gotten in some hot water immediately.
Hammond has been very solid for the Blues in conference play this year. 11 innings pitched, just giving up 7 hits and 5 walks. Opponent slugging of 179. That'll play at any level. The Blues asking him to get himself out of a jam, which he partially created, was partially created by the defense. An error by Ardois put Schneider on first. He reached second on an error and stole third. On second is Hallworth, who was walked in a full count. And then on first is Trotter Enright. Hayworth moved to second base on that base hit, as fouling off the first pitch is Jax Ryan, the third baseman, former Sun Devil.
And Ryan drove in a run to the third with his RBI single. That made it a third run of the day for the Saints.
Swinging and missing at that one. He's down 0-2.
This past season for the Sun Devils, he drove in 14 runs on his 25 hits.
Actually, no longer a former Sun Devil. Jax Ryan is going to be a Bear at Missouri State.
There you go. Good program. Congrats, Jax.
0-2. Swung on and fouled off the back leg. The Bears get an infielder. Announced his commitment 5 days ago on his Instagram after spending 2 years as a Sun Devil down in Tempe. Currently down in the count to Hunter Hammond, who misses upstairs, 1-2.
That's a good mid-major right there. That's one of those schools that we've talked about it off camera all the time. It's those mid-majors where you're like, what is this school? And then you're like, could they beat Georgia? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
There's 1-2. Swung on and fouled off and out of play. To stay at 1-2. Hammond and Ryan in a battle.
And Abram, the law firm, for sponsoring our foul balls this inning.
And Charlie Ferris getting hot in the pen for the Blues. A lumberjack, Stephen F. Austin, committed.
Bases loaded and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back.
Jax represents the go-ahead run here with no outs. This is a big out for Hunter Hammond.
Tying run on first. Leading run in the box, represented by Jax Ryan, the Bear from Missouri State. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Hunter Hammond, it's his first out of his appearance, and it comes by way of the K to Ryan.
That's a good strikeout for Hunter Hammond. Just get on the board somehow. Now you can get a ground ball, flip a double play, get out of the jam. That's a big out.
Third strikeout of the day for the Blues pitching staff. First out recorded by Hunter Hammond. Now he has to deal with Jacob Freer. Freer goes to Azusa Pacific, the Bellevue, Washington native. Check swings and fouls that one to the netting, just above the Saints dugout.
Full swing, it's a double.
Last year with the Cougars, limited action, 10 at-bats, only 2 hits, but one of them was a triple. There's the 0-1, half swing appeal. No, he did not, says the base umpire. Hunter Hammond trying to work himself out of a jam. Pitch count is already getting up there for Hammond. Pitch number 26 misses down.
26 in 1 inning here, only 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Yeah, that's a lot of work for one guy.
The Warrior also played with the Blues last summer, where he threw 13 innings, struck out 17 batters, a 1-3-1 whip as the 2-1 misses away. 3-1. Last thing you want to do here if you're Hunter Hammond is walk in a run.
That would not be ideal for multiple reasons. Pitch count going up, morale going down, and the Saints 1 run closer.
They currently trail by 3 with the bases loaded, and that was ball 4. Hunter Hammond walks in a run. Jacob Freer gets an RBI on a walk.
The Saints bringing him within 2, and not an easy one to swallow for the Blues. Second walk of the inning for Hunter Hammond. We'll bring him within 2 against San Luis Obispo.
Hammond just got to stay composed up there and know that a ground ball and you're out of the inning. The Blues just trying to mitigate the damage. First run of the inning for the Saints comes via a walk with the bases loaded. Tallerman plays in as the first pitch to Milto is a called strike.
That's a good pitch right there from Hammond, especially after allowing that walk to score a run for the Saints. Good comeback fastball.
Jacob Freer represents the go-ahead run as the bases are loaded with 1 out. Here's a 1 out.
0-1. This is high. And the Aces are free.
Milton this past season with the Bellarmine Knights, 25 runs batted in on his 42 hits. Started in 52 games at the D1 level this past season.
Here's a 1-1, an off-speed pitch and a big swing and a miss. As Milto, he falls behind to Hammond, who, as I mentioned, is trying to work out a sticky situation here. The base is loaded. He's given up 2 walks and a base hit thus far in this inning. 1 run already across. A 6-4 ball game. Here's the pitch to Milto. swung on and flared foul. Do the 1-2 again, as that one is over the porta potty and the Saints dugout.
The corner's playing in. Middle of the infield still playing back. The double play ball is still in order and can get the Blues out of the inning. We saw Charlie Ferris warming up, but we also saw Omar Reynoso get loose in the pen. Joey Milto slugging this past season at Bellarmine, 437. That's to put in perspective for you. Once Cody Turner comes up the dish and he had a 932 slugging, Joey Milto is 437. That's like a pretty good slug, typically.
To put it into even maybe some more perspective, 18 extra base hits in his 159 at bats. There's a 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Pulling the string is Hunter Hammond. He gets a second strikeout of the inning.
Another great pitch from Hunter. He started off Milto with a dotted fastball, and he finishes it off with a perfectly executed changeup. The left-handed swinger goes right over it, and that's a big second out for Hammond.
Hammond now just 1 out away from getting out of this inning versus J.J. Kinnett, who had a base hit his last time up, also grounded into a double play. First pitch is a fastball in the dirt, blocked by Andrews behind the dish.
And that will go down as an unsung block from a regular audience, because that block from Andrews just saved a run. That's a very nice play, sliding to his right, keeping it in front. Otherwise, scoring easily would be Hayworth.
Slider that misses up. Not by much, but a called ball. Count is 2-0 to the catcher. Sack flies off the table for the Saints. They've scored in the last 3 innings. Blues added on to their lead in the bottom of the 4th as Kinnett watches a fastball in the outer half for strike 1.
Hammond has just locked in since Jacob Freer scored in a run with his walk. That slider was very well executed, right where Andrews wanted it on the outer black to the right-handed hitting Kinnett.
Here's a 2-1. Fastball right at the letters for a called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Hunter Hammond just looking to get out of this inning after he walked in a run. It was Jacob Freer who recorded that RBI walk. Here's the pitch. That one is lined. Artois can't get it over the glove. The runner is going to come around third and score as Hart bobbles it. The throw to third, Comerford covering. Now the throw to second, Murillo blocks it and keeps it in front. 2 RBI single ties this game up for J.J. Kinnett.
Man, that's a tough break for Hunter Hammond right there. His past 2 plate appearances following that walk, he had been executing his pitches perfectly. This one, just covering way too much of the plate. Kinnett lofted it over the head of Artois at short, who did all he could to leap up and try to make the grab. It's just not enough. And luckily for the Blues, a snowball fight didn't completely break out, and the Saints couldn't take the lead. Instead, they tied at 6.
Hunter Hammond can't get through an inning of work here on a beautiful Tuesday evening, as Charlie Ferris will come into the game, and we'll tell you all about him after this on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Charlie Ferris comes in for the Blues in what is now a tied ball game, 6-6, as the Saints have scored 6 runs in the last 3 innings. Ferris this year has thrown 2 innings, no hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch. It's a ball on the outer part to Levi Medella with Cody Turner waiting on deck. On second is Knet. He had a 2 RBI single that took Hunter Hammond out of this game as Ferris pumps in a strike. And then on third is Jacob Freer. He walked and reached to third on that Knet single. Here's the 1-1. A fastball for a called strike.
That's a really good pitch. You could see the arm side run from Charlie Ferris. That time it kind of tied up Medella. You could see him flinching in the left-handed batter's box. Pitch tailing away from the left-handed hitter. It's a very effective fastball from Ferris. I'd love to see it again.
Out of the stretch, here's the 1-2. That fastball is ripped into right field. Don Jordan will field it. Getting the wave around third is Knet. The throw to the plate is in plenty of time. Gotta learn your lesson. Don Jordan has a cannon. The Saints do take the lead, however, as the first runner and Jacob Freer came home to score, and they lead it. The Saints lead it for the first time all ball game as we're halfway through on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Zach Tallman leads it off for the Blues in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Saints have taken the lead over the Blues. First pitch to Tallman, buckles him up for strike 1. Brady Nelson back out there for Arroyo Seco. And ZT sits at an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch from the windup. Tallman takes it inside.
1-1 to Zach Tollerman, who on the day today is 2 for 2. A pair of base hits and a pair of RBIs. Swinging and missing over the top of the slider is Tollerman, who's facing Nelson for the 3rd time in today's ballgame. Nelson's still out there despite giving up 6 runs to this point. Only 4 of them have been earned. An unearned run in the first and an unearned run in the second. From the windup, here's the 1-2. Swung on and ripped. Another base hit for Tollerman. That's 3 of them on the day for the 6'5" first baseman. That one was on a rope.
90 miles an hour from Zach Tallman, his 3rd base hit of the day. He's a perfect 3 for 3. Home you.
Being very productive in the cleanup spot for the Blues, like we've seen him for 7 games in a row. Logan Hart steps in, who's 0 for 2, but he did get an RBI on a ground out earlier in today's game. Now, out of the stretch, like we've seen him a lot today, is Nelson. His first pitch swinging is Hart as he rips it into the 4-hole for a base hit. Tollerman will go station to station. Back-to-back base hits to lead off the 5th inning for the Blues, and it'll be Brennan Comerford.
Well, back-to-back 90-mile-an-hour singles to get the line moving for the Blues. That's how you respond after losing the lead.
Put some speed on first base. And Logan Hart, who had 21 stolen bases this last year. Now it's Brennan Comerford. Leads the team in RBIs, also leads the team in strikeouts. Struck it out once today. And also flew out in the first. You mentioned his ungodly numbers at Ohlone this last year, where he slugged .712. Here's the first pitch to Comerford. He squares the bunt and pulls it back. It takes it for strike 1.
I want my boy to rip it. I don't want a bunt. I want Comerford to put an indent in the wall.
Comerford is 0 for his last 8. He squares to bunt on that first pitch. Let's see what he does here in the 0-1. He's swinging away as he watches a slider low.
A good lead from Brennan that time on that slider, because it's so easy. After you show bunt, you see the pitch so well coming into the mitt of now Garber, who replaces Kinnett because he is out with a shoulder. And after the pitch, you see a bunt, you feel like you see the ball so much better. So good job taking that slider. That was not a strike.
Here's a 1-1. Swung on and ripped the other way. This is down for a base hit. It might even be extra base hits as Tollerman rounds third and scores. Comerford will stop at first. Going first to third is Hart. The Blues tie it right back up.
3 hits in a row. 3 hits in a row. The Blues tie the game off an opposite field single from Brennan Comerford. And that's why I don't want my boy to bunt, because he can do that.
Not hit all that well, but it got the job done. Tollerman unhooked the trailer, rounding third to score. Saints corner infielders will play in as the middle infielders play back for Kosei Suzuki. 1 for 2, a double that he ripped over the head of the left fielder Snyder in the second, and he struck out to end the 3rd inning. No hold at either first or third, as now they will hold Comerford over at first base. Suzuki swings and misses at the first pitch.
He had ill intentions with that hack right there.
The Blues have tied the most runs that they've scored in a week. They scored 7 in a win against the Foresters last Tuesday. They have 7 today on 11 hits. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and popped up. This one's going to be playable on the infield dirt. For the second baseman, Freer, he'll grab it with 2 hands for the first out of the inning. No advancement from the runners on the pop out. As it'll be Sam Ardois with runners on the corners.
Sam recorded his first base hit in the 4th inning. Wants hit number 2 here. Take the lead for San Luis Obispo. Although if he can't get it done here, I know a guy who's 2 for 2 with a couple of extra base hits right behind him in the on-deck circle.
And I got to say, Cam Andrews, tons of feel with the 2 hits, but you got 1 out, and you're up next. Take the shin pads off, man.
You know, yeah.
First pitch to Ardois is a called strike. I mean, you're pretty much saying, I think you're going to ground into a double play.
You know, it's funny. When I was in, this kind of reminds me when I played travel ball as a kid. We had a player that was really not good. And whenever there was clutch situations and he would come up, we called him Zipper because everyone's zipping their bags anticipating to go home.
Here's the 0-1. It's fouled back.
Isn't that good?
That's pretty good. I mean, I remember when I was young and used to play, I caught. And if I was ever on deck, 2 outs, 1 out, no outs, I was on deck, the shin pads are off.
Yeah.
I feel like I felt like, at least for me, it would instill confidence in the guy at the plate that I think you're going to get on and I'm going to hit this inning. Especially with 1 out.
Andrews makes up for it with extra base hits today.
That's true. Pair of RBIs as well as Ardois watches the fastball on the outer part for ball 1.
The phrase I always said when I was trying to get recruited and while I played college baseball, hit doubles, your problems go away.
You also say that home runs are accidental doubles, so.
That's correct.
Hit doubles, they turn into home runs, and now your problems are really all gone. Ardois gets hit by a pitch. A slider that started behind the back of Ardois and hit him on the front shoulder. And he had no intention to get out of the way of that one. He was behind in the count and knew that a hit by pitch would bring up the red-hot Cam Andrews and load up the bases. He's 2 hits away from the cycle. And
sure is.
Now would be a great time for one of those hits as we get a visit from the pitching coach, Matt Stone, for the Arroyo Seco Saints. A long leash today for Brady Nelson, who's given up 7 runs in his 4 1/3 innings of work.
Yeah, very long leash. Making his first start of the summer for Arroyo Seco, and they're letting him go deep. Before this, in his 3 appearances, 9 innings of work, allowed 8 hits. He's allowed 11 today.
Blues have been all over Nelson, specifically at fastball. And I think this mound visit is just to talk about. And Cam Andrews is 2 for 2 with 2 extra base hits. Maybe let's work around him.
Yeah.
Not throw him the fastball, but also loading the bases. Now you put yourself in an interesting situation. You don't have a free base available, so you kind of have to pitch to Cam Andrews unless you want to walk in a run, which honestly, with how Cam Andrews is swinging the bat today, might not be a bad idea.
And not so much pitch around, but be careful. Make smart pitches.
See if Cam Andrews gets the Barry Bonds treatment.
Huh.
Speaking of that, James Wood the other day getting the Barry Bonds treatment.
Yes.
4 intentional walks in a game. Man.
Former Padre.
Who?
James Wood.
Asked. Here's the first pitch for Brady Nelson. It's in the dirt.
That amused you?
Yes. Just because I got you so good. I knew you were going to fall into the trap. Cam Andrews awaits the pitch from Brady Nelson, working out of the stretch with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Misses away, 2-0. Andrews works himself into a hitter's count. Against Nelson, who has thrown 90 pitches in today's ballgame. This will be pitch number 91. It's a sign from the new catcher. Here's the 2-0. This is down 3-0.
It's a good lead from Andrews, especially because you're in a 2-0 count, one of the best counts you could be in, if not the best as a hitter, and you have an opportunity to give your squad a lead, and mature taking that fastball low and outside.
See if he's got the green light in the 3-0 count with the bases loaded and 1 out. Infield plays back. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Andrews didn't even take the bat off the shoulder there.
Yeah, all Cam really needs to do is put the baseball in the air, and the Blues have a lead. Tied at 1. Bases loaded. You got a runner at third. 1 out. Sac fly will do.
An action-packed game thus far. 14 runs and not even 5 innings of baseball. Here's the 3-1 as that one is hit pretty well, but on a line and right at Snyder. Coming home to score is Logan Hart, as he will do that. So going, all the runners will move up as the ball was in the dirt to Garber and he was unable to find it. 2 in scoring position, 2 outs, and a sacrifice fly for Cam Andrews. He's still a perfect 2 for 2 on the day and has now 3 RBIs.
Andrews hit that one pretty well, and as I said, that does a job. Just put the baseball in the air, make Snyder throw it. It was offline. It ended up working out for the Blues. They take the lead.
Blues grab the lead back after surrendering it in the top of the 5th inning. 8-7 ball game, 2 in scoring position for the leadoff hitter, E.J. Royal. He's 0 for 3 today, 3 groundouts. Here's the first pitch, misses high. Royal usually one of the most dangerous hitters in this Blues lineup, but today he is the only base runner to not reach base safely. Every other batter in the Blues lineup has at least a hit, some multiple, some have also reached via a walk or hit by pitch, as Royal takes the fastball high, 2-0.
EJ, despite being a consistent leadoff man for this team, I don't think he's hit anywhere else in the lineup, by the way, in the past 2 seasons. He is 3rd on the team in RBIs with 12.
Also, one of only 3 qualified hitters for the Blues. Don Jordan and Brendan Comerford, the other 2, both in the lineup today. As he watches strike 1 at the knees.
Strict parameters for qualified hitters.
It's the same as in the CCL as it is the MLB level, 3.1 plate appearances per game played. Here's the 2-1, big swing and a miss. Late on the fastball, the deuces are wild to the leadoff hitter.
Unlike Andrews, who just had to put the baseball in the air and score a run, with 2 outs, EJ has to find real estate to extend against the Saints.
He can do just that. One of the best 2-strike hitters on this team, if not the best. Here's the pitch to Royal. Misses away, and the count runs full. You do have the luxury of the free base over there, so you could walk Royal if you'd rather face Murillo. However, Murillo is 1 for 1 with a pair of walks.
EJ not only one of the better hitters with 2 strikes, he leads the team in base hits.
Here's the payoff. Swung on and chopped on the ground. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Enright, he makes a sidearm throw on the run. Did he keep his foot on? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. Good play by Medella to stretch out and make the play. The Blues take the lead back, 2 runs on 3 hits and 3 runners left. Into the top half of the 6th inning we go. SLO Blues Streaming Network. Cody Turner will lead it off for the Arroyo Seco Saints in an 8-6 ball game. Back and forth affair right now as Cody Turner watches a fastball with some run, but not enough run as it doesn't come back into the zone.
Something about Cody Turner. This is our guy with the 900 slugging. Ridiculous, right? But there's something more interesting to note about him.
He has to slide out of the way of that fastball around his knees.
I can't tell from this angle here, but in the regular season with Antelope Valley College, he doesn't wear batting gloves. He doesn't wear no batting gloves. He wears gardening gloves.
Slider misses in, 3-0. It is hard to tell from here what's occupying the hands right now. Some sort of white glove.
They do look a little loose.
Yeah.
Which makes me think they could be gardening gloves.
Big leg kick on the 3-0. That misses outside. Ball 4 to Cody Turner, excuse me.
A leadoff walk for Charlie Ferris, and not the way you want to start after retaking the lead against the Arroyo Seco Saints, but you can flip a ground ball and still get 2 outs here with a double play.
Charlie Ferris might have the most unique story out of any player on the Blues, and heck, I'd even say maybe in the CCL. Ferris has never pitched in college, but that's because he spent 3 years as a place kicker at the University of Texas. As he throws in a first pitch fastball to Gannon Schneider. It's crazy. He goes from a Division I kicker to now playing Division I baseball, and he throws 90. I bet that leg is insane too. Turner bouncing off first as the slider misses away. 1-1.
Can't say I've seen that pipeline too many times. Place kicker at an SEC Power 5 football program who made it far in the college football playoff this past season turned 90-mile-an-hour hurler.
Ferris did not see any game action in either of the 2 seasons he was a kicker as he pumps in strike 2 to Gannon Schneider. Looks like he spent 2 years kicking in 2022 and 2023 where he was on the team, as I mentioned, didn't play, and then took a year off from all athletics this last year. And now, he was on the roster in 2024 as well, as swinging and flaring that one up on the infield is Gannon Schneider, and Artois will catch it for the first out of the inning. A P6 as Ferris rolling in the 6th inning.
That kid had to have just been in the lab in 2024.
You look at these high school numbers. He was an all-district selection in 2020, made 19 of his 24 field goals, and was successful on his 74 of 75 PATs. That's pretty good.
Yep.
That was in his 2 seasons. And in a win over Cypress Ridge, he went to Cypress Ranch, so very close in school name there. He scored 18 points, 4 for 5 on field goals, 6 for 6 on PATs. And in that game, he also, actually not in that game, but he hit a 49-yarder in high school. That was good enough to get him a Division I spot as a kicker. There's no longer the path for him. He's a ball hurler now as he throws strike 1 to Lane Hayworth. Center fielder batting from the left side is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts and a walk.
18 points against Cypress Ridge. He goes to Cypress Ranch. He tallied 17 points against Cypress Wood.
A lot of Cypress down in Texas, I assume, as the slider misses away. It's also interesting to note, because he doesn't have his own school page yet, because he hasn't pitched in college, all we really know is that as a Mustang at Cypress Ranch, he was a pitcher and infielder, and he was a unanimous selection for the District 16 6A MVP in baseball his senior year. his move over to first and sliding back is Cody Turner, designated hitter who stands on first. He's reached base safely twice in today's game, a base hit in the third where he later scored, and now a walk in the sixth. Runner goes, a super late swing and a miss, and Cody Turner is hosed at second base. A hit and run, but I think Lane Hayworth forgot that it was a hit and run.
That's one of those moments where you have flashbacks to practice in your travel ball days. Hit runs on, I don't care where it is, swing the bat. That's what happened. Hit run was on, Hayworth totally spaced out on it, just put out a swing, but it didn't matter. Turner was hosed.
Hayworth swung after the ball was in Cam Andrews' mitt.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2, it's chopped foul.
That's one of those, hey, you can't get mad at me for not swinging. I did swing.
If I were a coach, I think I'd be more upset. That was ball 3. At least if you're not going to swing, get yourself in a friendly hitter's count. Now instead, the deuces are wild. And nobody on for Hayworth. So he watches a floater away. Full count. Blues lead by 1. It's been a offense-heavy game. 15 total runs here in the top of the 6th. Payoff pitch misses high, ball 4. Full count walk to Hayworth, his second walk of the day, and that'll give Trotter Enright an opportunity.
Hey, down middle of the infield, go the easy way, right? Get the force out at second base on a ground ball to you. Makes it a little easier. You don't have to throw it across the diamond. But still, a 2-out walk extends the inning. That just delays time for the Blues to get on offense and extend the lead. A little agitating for Ferris.
Ferris looking to get out of the inning. A tiny lead over at first base from Hayworth. Takes an extra hop. As the first pitch is popped up in the air in the outfield to Hart. He'll range in, make the grab with 2 hands for the 3rd out of the inning. So the walk does not hurt Charlie Ferris. He immediately gets out the next pitch. The Blues bats are back up. It's going to be Murillo, Jordan, and Tollerman due up in the bottom half of the 6th inning, which is brought to you by Ancient Owl Beer Garden. Bottom half of the 6th inning is brought to you by Ancient Owl. Friends over at Ancient Owl Beer Garden Bottle Shop, your go-to spot for every Blues road game. Located just around the corner from Sinsheimer, Ancient Owl is the official home of the Blues watch party all season long. Ancient Owl, choose your beer wisely. The new pitcher is the man with the .930 slugging. Cody Turner out there, the left-handed pitcher, two-way, as throws 93-mile-an-hour fastball. First pitch to Arroyo. That is a called strike.
That was a sinker that time to Diego Murillo at 92.
Swing and a miss for strike two. Kind of a three-pitch guy. Haven't seen a lot of action this year, but sinker, slider, changeup. Heavy on the sinker. It's averages right around 90 miles an hour.
He just hurled that one at 94 to Diego.
Guy that slugs 930 and throws 94. As that one misses low to Murillo. Official attendance for today's ball game, 773. That one misses away. Lowest of the year, but kind of as expected here at the Blue Stadium because firework night is 2 days away and it's already sold out. It's been sold out for 2 weeks.
Are you ready, Ryan?
I am so ready. 2-2 misses low and the count runs full.
I love fireworks.
And the first fireworks show was immaculate.
It's so good.
And I know the fourth one is always better, so I am so ready. It's so nice, too. We finish calling the game, and we do our post-game show while they set everything up as Murillo fouls off the full count offering. And we go down to the field, we talk with some of the players. We just lay there on the grass and watch the fireworks go up in the air. Beautiful.
Celebrate 4th of July? What's your favorite things about 4th of July?
The food, probably.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Hot dogs, burgers, brats. Pitch, Murillo, handsy on the ground to the second baseman. Freer, he'll throw over to first in time for the first out of the inning. First time Murillo has gotten out this game.
The cuisine of 4th of July is not a conflict of interest with your 75 hard, right?
No. Because
it's just your timing of eating.
Yes, I just can't eat any hot dogs, brats, anything like that for 12 hours on the 4th of July. So,
yeah.
Most of my fasts have been around like 10:30 p.m. to 10:30 a.m. the next morning, so shouldn't interfere at all. First pitch to John Jordan, and awkward move to get out of the way of the fastball. Jordan slightly open from the right side, takes a ball low. Don Jordan has gone through a plethora of bats this season. He started the season with a torpedo bat, which he said he loved. But he struggled with it, and so he switched over to a bomb bat, where he hit a pink bomb bat as he fouls that one back and over the netting. Now he finds himself with a black bomb bat.
It's funny because he's very particular about his bats, and he's established that. So to go through as many as he does is a little bit ironic.
Says the bomb bats hurt his hand when he swings, but he sticks with it because, I mean, he has a 350 average, so I would do the same as he swings and misses at the slider. The count goes 2-2.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Says he doesn't really like the sound of how it feels. It hurts his hand. A lot of issues that he has with the bomb bat, but it produces hits. So I would use it if it produced hits.
That's a fair point on the sound sentiment.
A lot of people not a fan, yeah. Here's the 2-2. Slider misses away, floated up and out of the zone for ball 3. Definitely not the nicest sound of the wood bat options, but it's just so nice because it just doesn't break. Being a wood composite bat. Full count. Swung on and hit the other way. Sliced right at the right fielder, Milto, as he'll grab it for the second out of the inning.
That's good barrel that time from Don Jordan. Unfortunately, it was right to the right fielder, Milto, who barely had to move to make that play.
Zach Tollerman steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. Looking to produce a 2-out rally and give the Blues some insurance runs. Blues have scored in every inning other than the third, and they are at jeopardy of making it the 6th inning as well, as Tollerman watches a changeup low for ball 1.
Now, Zach is perfect today. 3 for 3, 3 singles, 2 RBIs. Holding true to that Player of the Week title.
Batted over 300 this last week with a 500 slugging as he watches that fastball up. Cody Turner was last year on the mound through 61 and 2/3 innings with a 5.11 ERA as finds a fastball right around the knees for strike one.
82 strikeouts and 61 and 2/3 innings pitched.
It's good for 12 strikeouts per 9, which he replicated his freshman year as a changeup floats away from the zone. I would argue his freshman year he had a better season, 5 less innings pitched, slightly lower ERA, more strikeouts per 9 innings. He did give up 4 home runs his freshman year compared to his 1. A 1.48 whip as Tollerman takes ball 4. A 2-out walk for Zach Tollerman. He is still perfect on the day. He has reached base in all 4 at-bats. 3 base hits and a walk. 2 RBIs, a run scored. Have yourself a day, Zach Tollerman, making himself a good candidate for dog of the day.
He sure is. He's seen it well. Zach Tollerman gets that walk, as you said, 3rd or 4th time reaching on base in as many plate appearances.
You mentioned the dog of the day. Tollerman, definitely one of the candidates, but he has an uphill battle fighting Cam Andrews, who is 2 for 2 with a double, a triple, 2 and 3 RBIs. 1 run scored as well for Cam Andrews as that one misses away to Logan Hart. He is 1 for 3 on the day, a base hit and a run scored in the 5th, and then an RBI ground out in the 1st. Sandwich in between those was a flyout. Tollerman a small lead off first with Medella holding as Hart fouls that one into the parking lot.
That's over into the park. Our thanks to Pardon My French Bakery for sponsoring our free foul balls.
Eight 7 Blues in the bottom of the 6th inning. Over halfway through here at Sinsheimer. Here's the 1-1. Hart ugly swing and a miss on a sinker that was a couple feet off the plate. He steps out and takes a big deep breath.
Yeah, that fooled hard after a swing like that. Just got to recoup here and lock back in.
Here's the 1-2 to Hart. Swung on and hit softly right out to the pitcher, Johnson. He'll throw it over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. It's a 2-out walk for Zach Tollerman as he is stranded there. Bats are back up for the Saints as I'll pass it over to my partner and my pal, Nate Mills, and he'll take you the rest of the way in an 8-7 ball game here on the SLO Blues streaming network.
for the Arroyo
Charlie
Seco
Ferris
Saints.
returns in the top half of the 7th inning. The Blues up 8-7 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. 3-4-5 due up for the Saints. Jax Ryan leads it off. He's 1 for 3 today. The former Sun Devil turned Bear from Missouri State. Swings and misses at the first offering, and might have got a piece of Cam Andrews behind home plate as he skips around the first base line. He wore that one well. Andrews has frequently been hit by foul tips. He's been hit by pitch quite a few times this summer too. I mostly think back to that game down at the MLB Youth Academy in Compton. He was hit by 3 different foul tips, and then was hit by a pitch in that game. Kid's a warrior, man, and he puts up a battle every night behind the dish.
Kind of an unsung hero of her game is the catcher. Arguably the hardest position in all of baseball. Sit in the squad all day, you're active in every single pitch.
The 0-1, and Ryan takes it high and inside, a ball and a strike.
You're in danger of getting those foul tips. You got to be able to block balls, and that's expected of you. If you don't block a ball, it's, look poorly upon the catcher.
The 1-1. Ryan takes it high and tight, 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, a big contrast compared to playing the outfield, which is what I played in college. I've said it 1,000 times before, but you'll get weekends without a ball being hit to you, and then an inning where you have 3. Here's 2-1. Ryan takes it high, and it trickles into the backstop for ball 3.
It kind of just depends on, what you prefer. Cam Andrews gets to stay locked in the entire game because you take one pitch off and it could cost you a game. Or, like you mentioned, out in left field, you could pick dandelions for 27 innings, and then all of a sudden, baseball's left and right.
3-1. Ryan swings and misses for strike 2.
What do you think the longest, you had to guess, I don't think you probably know this off the top of your head, but how many innings do you think you went without seeing a baseball?
Ooh, man.
When you played? At any level?
I went a weekend once, 4 9-inning games.
Wow, 36 innings of nothing?
Yeah. Here's the payoff. Ryan takes it inside, and that's ball 4, a leadoff walk to the former Sun Devil, Jax Ryan.
Got to be brutal out there. I mean, at that point, 30 innings in, I would just be like, Coach, I'm not going out there. They're not going to hit the ball to me. I'll just stay at the bench. Make a TikTok video or something.
That seems to be what the modern player does in their off time, right?
Yeah.
We got to get you on the TikTok grind. As broadcasters, it's something we have to do. We got to promote ourselves on social media.
I mean, I've been using TikTok more recently.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of a switch for me. I'm just not a big social media creator. I love social media apps for
consuming.
Yes, I love the consumption.
You're
part
a cog in the machine.
I am.
You're a screen
I'm just a monkey. They just feed me what I want to see, and I'll watch it for hours.
Your dopamine responses are fried. Jack's right on first, following the leadoff walk. And now it's Jacob Freer who takes strike 1. Freer 1 of 2 today. A single in the second. Now do a fielder's choice in the third. An RBI walk in the 5th issued from Hunter Hammond. Blues up 8-7 over the Saints. Entering the final third of this ball game, Charlie Ferris still out there. Former place kicker for UT Austin. Long hold, the 0-1. And it's a curveball, taken on the outer half for strike 2. Matt Betancourt, the Sunbird from Fresno Pacific, getting loose in the pen for the Blues. The lefty Freer digs back in. He's the Saints cleanup man today. He's got a runner on first base. Jacob represents the go-ahead run for Arroyo Seco. The 0-2. Freer takes it low inside. Good block by Andrews behind home plate. Ball and 2 strikes.
There it is again, Andrews, the unsung hero that saves 90 feet because he's able to block that one right out in front of himself.
Freer, the Azusa Pacific Cougar, drove in 2 runs this past season, his first year of college baseball. A short lead at first for Ryan. He shuffles off the 1-2. Freer pokes it the opposite way. Arroyo charges it at short, flips it to second. Murillo turns it. The throw is too high for Tolman. They can't turn the double play. Instead, they'll just force out the runner, Jax Ryan, at second base.
It's a good play from Arroyo to get the lead runner. It's tough as a shortstop. He's coming in and moving away from second. You got to keep an eye on second. Make sure you have time to get that runner there. And he made a strong throw on the sidearm. And he's really struggled defensively this last couple of games. So maybe that's the play that he needs to get back on track. 4 errors in the last 3 games for Arroyo.
They get the runner at second, Jax Ryan, but Jacob Freer reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's Joey Milto, 0 for 2 today, a couple of Ks and a walk. Milto takes the first offering, a called strike, 0-1. Joey in the transfer portal after a trio of seasons at Bellarmine. His final year of eligibility, and he's proven to be a worthy college baseball player. 3 really good seasons at the D1 level. Here's the 0-1. Curveball nicely placed in the outer half for strike 2. Milto, the Greenwood, Indiana native, with a runner on first and 1 out. A 2-strike count against Charlie Ferris. Five long balls this past season as time is called at home plate. I think they were trying to get in a pinch runner to go for Freer at first base. There is a player with a helmet on, and now he goes back into the dugout. So we're ready to go now. 0-2 count. Blues up by 1 with 1 out the pitch. Swing and a big looping miss on a slider for strike 3. Ferris throws him a frisbee, and that's the 2nd out of the 7th.
Ferris's first strikeout. Oh, a really nice slider there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to you.
So it's a new hitter. J.J. Kinnett exited this game after a headfirst dive at home. He left injured, and now it's Johnny Garber, a former Sun Devil from Arizona State. With no batting gloves and a runner on first, the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. And Garber, like Jax Ryan, fell victim to a position that was just log-jammed with talent. Josiah Cromwick, Brody Briggs were just filling up that spot at the catcher position, leaving no room for Garber. There's a second, Josiah Cromwick for the Sun Devils. His first 6 hits of the spring were all extra base hits. The 0-1. Garber with a weak swing and a miss for strike 2. Oof, he lost his top hand getting fooled on that off speed. Ferris in the driver's seat against the Sun Devil catcher Garber. With a runner on first, he represents the go-ahead run for the Saints. With 2 outs, the pitch. Check swing, it kicks off the shin pad of Andrews. Gets away, and Freer will easily advance into second base on the wild pitch. And they say that the new hitter, Garber, went around. I didn't think so at all.
The home plate umpire called it. So it must have been obvious to him that he went around, and the third base coach not happy about it.
I was so confident he didn't go around. I looked down at the scorebook. I knew it was a check swing, but hey, Garber went around, and that's strike 3. So 3 outs here in the 7th. The manager is ticked off at the home plate umpire. They share a lengthy and passionate discussion, but we stretch here at Sinsheimer. The Blues up 8-7, bottom half of the 7th inning on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. about to enter the bottom half of the 7th inning, and on a throwdown before the inning started, the second baseman Jacob Freer gets hit in the face by the throw from Garber. So medical staff is treating the second baseman for the Arroyo Seco Saints. We have a lengthier break, a longer break than usual, as they make sure that he is okay. So make sure you stay tuned on the SLO Blue Streaming Network. We'll have the 7th inning for you right after this. Bottom half of the 7th inning, a new second baseman, Keon Mosini. Jacob Freer got hit in the face with a throwdown from the catcher Garber before the frame began. So there's a new second baseman for the Saints. 6-7-8 due up for the St. Louis Obispo Blues. They lead by 1 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Brendan Comerford leads it off. He has a 1-for-3 day. Drove in a run with his single in the 5th inning. That made it an 8-7 ball game. The Blues lead. Cody Turner back out there. Comerford shows bunt. He pushes it down the opposite way. No one's at first, and Brendan Comerford bunts his way on to begin the 7th.
And I think that's going to be the most exciting hit of the summer for Brendan Comerford. He did a little hop, skip, and jump after he touched first base, and then looked at the dugout and waggled his hips.
Well, he showed bunt earlier in the game with runners in scoring position. I was questioning why he was showing bunt as the team leader in RBIs and a proven slugger on this squad. He showed bunt here and got it down, perfectly executed for the leadoff bunt single. So here's Kosei Suzuki now. Kosei takes the first pitch inside, in and out of the mid of Garber behind home plate for ball 1. Kosei is 1-for-3 today, scorched a double in the 2nd inning, and eventually came around to score when Cam Andrews traded places with him with a double of his own. Suzuki's starting to catch fire here, just about halfway through in the season. Here's the 1-0. Suzuki takes it high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
And he's the guy that they need to get going because you got Jordan and Comerford and Ashlock all leaving. You also got Gavin Constantine, who will be leaving next week. And Blues are going to be looking for guys like Suzuki who can play in the infield, also corner outfield spots.
The 2-0. Kosei off the hands, flares it to the second baseman Mosini. They'll go over to first, a double play to get Comerford. Brendan was halfway to second base. There was nothing he can do. Suzuki lined it right to Mosini. It was an easy flip to first base and a double play. Now 2 outs in the 7th, just like that.
Number 55, the shortstop, Sam Ardois.
So with 2 outs now, it's Sam Ardois. Sam is 1 for 2 today. A single in the 4th, a strikeout swinging in the 2nd, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. The only batter to not record a base hit today for the Blues, ironically, is the leadoff man, E.J. Royal. Ardois' first pitch swinging and missing for strike 1. Sam, the shortstop, has a couple of errors over that position today. He played second base against the Forsters, and it seemed to be a good fit, but he returns to short. Ardois swings and misses here for strike 2. Murillo at second base today for the Blues, and Ardois at short. That was flip-flopped against Santa Barbara, and they made a good team up the middle like that. Ardois hasn't had the same focus at short today with those errors. But he's trying to lock in here with 2 strikes, up by 1 against the Arroyo Seco Saints in the bottom half of the 7th. Cam Andrews awaits on deck. The pitch, Ardois off the hands, fouls it straight back. We'll do it again at 0-2.
Ardois been very swing happy this at-bat, swing at the first 3 pitches he's seen. Let's see if he can lay off a pitch that's outside of the zone, or if he's just going to try to get a hit and a 0-2 count.
Ardois on a 2-strike count. He has 18 Ks on the summer. Here's the pitch. Ardois swings and misses for strike 3. Changeup, got him to chase, and there's 3 down in the 7th. Into the 8th we go. Blues up 8-7 on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Last 3 of the order due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the top half of the 8th inning. They trail the Blues 8-7. An offensive happy game which has come to a screeching halt these past 2 frames. Goose eggs on both sides of the innings in the 6th and 7th. Leading it off, it's Levi Medella. He's 2 for 3 today with a couple of RBIs. Medella takes the first offering inside from Charlie Ferris, who's back out there for another inning of work for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Medella takes it off speed and it misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Levi Medella is a native of Wailuku, Hawaii. That's on the island of Maui, the same hometown as Wahila Aloy, the Golden Spikes Award winner from Arkansas. Here's the 2-0. And he takes it down the middle for strike 1.
Matt Bencourt is getting loose for the Blues in the bullpen.
He's been getting loose for a minute now.
Long leash for Charlie Ferris. Hasn't given up a run since he came in.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Medella from Wailuku, Hawaii. He briefly went to University of Hawaii at Manoa. He redshirted in 2023. Hit the transfer portal. And played at Shorter University where he is right now. Takes it inside. Full count 3-2. Redshirted this past season at Shorter, but in his redshirt freshman year, 32 hits and his 123 at-bats. That's a 260 average from Medella. 3-2. This one's hard into right field and it's a base hit. Leadoff single for Levi Medella. And the first hit in 3 innings for the Saints.
It's the third hit of the day for Levi Medella, putting himself together a pretty productive day in the 7-hole.
We've seen quite a few base hits from Medella today. You could say it's a Medella effect.
Here's number 32, Cody Turner.
Here's Cody Turner, the two-way player who is pitching right now for the Saints. Pick over to first. It's awfully close, but Medella's back in time. 3 hits on the day for Medella. You would think he had 4. Call that the Medella. Ryan loves it. Turner in an open stance. First pitch swinging. Lofts it in the air to left. Hart gets it with 2 hands for the first out of the inning.
It's another ball that Turner just cut off the end of the bat. Would love to see what happens when he barrels a ball, because I have a feeling he will send it as a long way.
I'm very interested to see what fly balls look like right now to these outfielders. Right now there's a few different elements. The fog is coming in as hard as it has all summer at Sinsheimer Stadium, casting a looming shadow over the field. And that ball was hit above the lights too. That had to have been really hard to see for Hart. We're in prime twilight sky as well. As Gannon Snyder digs in, they pick over to first, and Medella's back in time. Snyder 0 for 2. Reached on air in the 5th and came around to score. Also popped out to Ardois and hit a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. First run of the day for the Saints back then. Dribble to 3rd, backhanded by Comerford and foul ground. Makes a one-hop throw to first. A dramatic strike 1 for Gannon Snyder. Takes his time walking back to the right-handed batter's box. Eight to 7 lead for the Blues. Top of the 9th, trying to hang on and get a W against the Saints and end a 2-game losing streak. The 0-1. Snyder serves it over the Blues dugout and foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. The Saints are currently riding their longest winning streak of the summer at 3 in a row. They sit at 2nd place in the CCL South, technically, because the Foresters are in 1st and they're 2 games ahead of the Caneo Oaks. But the Foresters famously will not be participating in the CCL postseason. So really, the Caneo Oaks are in 1st place with the Saints in 2nd. They're a game out. Pick over to first. Ball gets away. Runner Medella takes off towards 2nd base. Jordan races to it. Medella around 2nd. Goes to 3rd. The throw off the face of Comerford. It goes into the warning track and foul ground. And Medella will stay at 3rd. 180-foot error that time from Charlie Ferris, and that puts the tying run 90 feet away for the Saints. Just like that, Arroyo Seco threatening.
Just a mistake that at this point in the ball game you cannot have if you are the San Luis Obispo Blues. The nice thing is that you are a strike away from it being 2 outs. The infield has to come in for now, but if, now a fly ball changes this ball game.
A strikeout would be big here for Ferris. He's trying to collect K number 3 on the night against Gannon Snyder, who has not struck out today. Here's the 0-2. Snyder pokes it up the middle, in for a base hit. The Saints have tied it on a single return to sender from Gannon Snyder, 8-8 in the 8th.
There you go. That error comes back to haunt you the next pitch.
And just like that, the Saints have tied it. Leadoff single from Levi Medella. 180-foot error from the pitcher Ferris. And Snyder ties it with a swing of the bat. So now top of the order here, Lane Hayworth. Hitless today, he's 0 for 2. First pitch, he shows bunt, gets it down, but it's foul. Hayworth, along with his one-pitch groundouts to Zach Tullerman. He's got a couple of those. He's also walked twice and scored in the 5th. Part of a 4-run frame for the Saints.
His approach has changed a lot. First 2 at-bats, first pitch swinging. His last 2 at-bats, he's drawn a walk and a full count.
Hayworth in the portal after a couple of seasons as a shocker from Wichita State, where he was just named the Fungo Golf champion this past season. The 0-1. The lefty takes low and inside, ball 1. You ever played Fungo Golf, Ryan?
I have not. Do tell, what is it?
Well, we played golf today.
We did play golf. We're not talking about that.
We're not. We can stay away from that. But Fungo Golf is basically you pick a spot somewhere on the field, and whenever you have free time, you swing baseball bats, you swing fungo bats and try to hit the ball to that spot.
Okay.
Runner goes, 1-1, swing and a miss, throw down to second base, the throw's on the money, so's the tag. Cam Andrews guns down Gannon Snyder. A big second out in the top of the 8th.
It's a huge out. Cam Andrews has shown off that laser beam of an arm a couple of times today.
Andrews tends to do that, throw out runners. But yeah, I don't know if those parameters are clear. With 2 outs, I could maybe explain it another time. Here's the 1-2. Towering fly ball to right field, but an easy play for Jordan, who meanders to his right and makes the grab with one hand to retire the side. But the game is now tied. An RBI single from Gannon Snyder makes it 8-8 in the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom of the frame on the Slow Blues streaming network in an inning brought to you by SLO County Golf. Tied ball game of the bottom half of the 8th, and a frame brought to you by SLO County Golf, offering courses in SLO, Atascadero, and Morro Bay. They offer affordable prices and beautiful scenery. Book your tee time at slowcountygolf.com. Cam Andrews leads it off in an 8-8 game, and he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees for strike 1. Andrews having himself an evening. RBI double, RBI triple, and a sacrifice fly in the 5th, and he just finished gunning down a runner, Gannon Snyder, trying to take second base. Here's the 0-1. Takes it a called strike, 0-2 now.
2 caught stealings, 2 extra base hits, 3 RBIs. It's a pretty good day from the catcher, who recorded his first extra base hit in the 2nd inning today of the season.
Yeah, recorded extra base hit number 2 with that triple. He's the leadoff man here, the 9-hole hitter for the Blues as time is called at home plate. E.J. Royal stands on deck and Diego Murillo stands in the hole. Royal, the leadoff man, is the only batter in today's lineup that is hitless for the Blues, ironic enough.
For the Blues here in the bottom of
Wind blowing straight out to center field. Here's the 0-2. Andrews swings and misses for strike 3. A drop third strike, but they'll just tag Cam for the first out of the 8th. Andrews got fooled on that bender from Cody Turner, who is feeling it with that curveball. I'll flip it to the top of the order in Royal. Quad ground ball outs this evening. 2 to second and 2 to short. Prior to that, EJ with his .329 average leads the team in that metric. First pitch, Royal swings and misses for strike 1. We're going to talk about what we're witnessing on the mound today, Ryan, and Cody Turner.
It's remarkable.
He's such a talented bat. We talk about his 900 plus slugging his freshman year of college, and this is with a good sample size too. EJ takes the 0-1 low, 1 ball and a strike. Fall that year with, a down year, Ryan, at 830 slugging in his sophomore season at Antelope Valley College. And now he's here pitching at 94 miles an hour against the Blues. The 1-1. EJ takes it low, 2 balls and a strike now.
Yeah, we've said it a couple times during the break. How is this kid not in the MLB?
At least drafted.
Yeah. I mean, he's an animal. I mean, much better hitter than he is pitcher, but 1,000 slugging almost.
EJ takes, and that's strike 2.
And he pumps 94. I mean, do whatever you want with him at the low A level and figure it out from there. If he pans out to be an incredible hitter, you got that. Now you up that velo, work the off-speed stuff.
There he is on a 2-2 against EJ Royal. Royal takes inside, and that's ball 3. Full count now to the leadoff man, Royal. Turner's outing so far for the Blues. Faced 4 batters in the 6th and the minimum in the 7th. He's led off this inning with a strikeout to Cam Andrews. Royal set and the full count. Here it comes. EJ takes outside, and that's ball 4. Well, 1-out walk to the leadoff man, EJ Royal, and the go-ahead run now stands at first base for San Luis Obispo.
First time Royals reach base safely today, and it comes in a big spot. The Blues just trying to manufacture a run and take the lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Here's Diego Murillo, the second baseman. He's reached on 3 of his 4 plate appearances today. A single in the first, a pair of walks, and grounded out to the second baseman, who was then Freer in the 6th inning. Freer has since been replaced by Massini. The lefty comes set against the righty Murillo. Delivers, and Diego swings and misses at a changeup for strike 1. Diego starting in his 16th game of the summer for the Blues. And Ryan and I have talked about the departures on this roster that we have been alerted to earlier this afternoon. 3 key hitters will be leaving the team for the Blues. One of them infielders. That leaves up an open spot for Diego Murillo. The 0-1. Murillo hit on the back foot as he crawls down the first base line. He gets up, and it's a hit by pitch.
That was not a fun sound coming off that. I think it hit the back ankle bone of Murillo, but he's a trooper. Bring it over to first.
Here's one of those bats that I was just talking about, Don Jordan. The most valuable bat on this team, I would say. Making his 24th start of the summer for the Blues. 31 hits in his 90 at-bats. He's driven in 11 runs, and the go-ahead run now stands in scoring position in EJ Royal. Both runners on base have good speed. Jordan, the best of all of them. Turner from the stretch dangles his left arm, gets his sign from the catcher Garber. He now comes set at the belly. With 1 out, he looks at second, now deals to Jordan. First pitch, and Don checks his swing and went around for strike 1. Jordan today is 1 for 4. A single in the second, reached on error in the first, struck out looking in the 4th, and lined out to Milto in right field in the 6th. That was an unlucky out. Jordan scorched that ball. 2 times at second, now the 0-1. Don pokes it foul in front of the Blues dugout for strike 2. 0-2 count with 1 out. Diego Murillo stands at first, E.J. Royal at second. Zach Tolleman, who's a perfect 3 for 3 today with a pair of RBIs, stands on deck with 1 out. And Jordan, with his 11, is at the dish. In a 2-strike count. Here's the offering. Don takes low, and a nice spit on that changeup for ball 1. A transfer portal outfielder, just redshirted his first season at Texas. Battling a rib and a hamate bone injury. He's grinding here on the Central Coast. Here's the 1-2. Don with a high bounding ball to short. Enright goes to second for 1, and Jordan can't beat out the throw. The Saints turn the double play and get out of the jam. Don Jordan's fast, but not fast enough for that DP. The Blues strand a runner at third. It's still tied at 8, heading into the 9th on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher for the Blues in the top half of the 9th inning. They stranded a runner in scoring position. A Donovan Jordan ground into a double play. 6-4-3 to end the frame. The game is still tied at 8. Could be the last call for the Arroyo Seco Saints as Trotter Enright leads it off against a new pitcher, the Sunbird, Matt Betancourt, who had been warming up in that bullpen for quite a long time, getting ready to relieve Charlie Ferris. Brendan Comerford, the third baseman, plays in on the infield grass to the left-handed hitting shortstop Enright, who swings at the first pitch and hits it high to center field. Royal camps underneath it and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Matt Betancourt in the top half of the 9th.
Good start for Betancourt. Blues going to have to walk it off if they want to win it. It's going to start with 2 more outs here on the top of the 9th.
Now, we've seen our fair share of walk-off victories this summer for the Blues. 3, to be exact.
Number 10, Jax Ryan.
Here's Jax Ryan, recent commit of Missouri State. Former Sun Devil from Oklahoma. First pitch, slider, and it misses outside from Betancourt, 1-0. Ryan today is 1 for 3. Grounded to Comerford, hit an RBI single, struck out swinging and walked. We talked about baby blue batting gloves earlier. Ryan's got a pair. 1-0 is foul tipped and sent straight back for strike 1.
These one's a little lighter than Comerford's that he has since discarded, but still got that baby blue touch to him. I love it, man. Especially they got the navy blue jerseys, blue on blue.
Am I converting you to blue on blue? Did you
No,
like
I've
you liked it
already-
before?
yeah.
Okay, good. The 1-1. Ryan takes outside, 2-1. I never understood the hate for it. Okay, I understand the hate if you're like wearing an outfit. That doesn't look great.
I think you can make it work. It just cannot be like you're wearing like a baby blue top with like blue jeans.
Right. 2-1. Ryan moves his hands over a pitch inside. 3 balls and a strike now.
However, like if I think if you have like a blue shirt with like black pants or something, and then like your shoes are like white with like some baby blue on them, like I think that works.
That's a fit.
Yeah.
The 3-1. Ryan flinches, but he takes it outside. That's ball 4. Back-to-back plate appearances where Jax Ryan has walked. And with 1 out, the go-ahead run stands at first base. Bullpen empty for the Blues. We saw Omar Reynoso get hot earlier.
26.
He has since stopped throwing a baseball.
A couple guys with the pigskin down there.
Here's the new second baseman who replaced Jacob Freer. First pitch swinging, grounds to Tallman. He'll tap first, and he won't throw to second for the double play. Easy out there. Keon Massini grounds right to Zach Tollerman, and there's 2 gone in the 9th. So Jax Ryan, the go-ahead run, advances into scoring position for the Saints. As Joey Milto steps in. 3 strikeouts today for Joey and a walk in the 4th. He came around to score in that inning. First pitch, and he nubs it foul down the third base line, strike 1. Milto from Indiana, Greenwood, Indiana. Just finished up a season at Bellarmine where he got the most action out of any year. His past 2 before that combined. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss at a changeup for strike 2. Betancourt ahead against Joey Milto. What fans are left? Bellow for the hot sauce. 58-degree night as the fog rolls into Sinsheimer Stadium and blows the wind straight out to center field. Betancourt checks second, now delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Betancourt gets out of the jam, and how about some walk-off magic in the bottom of the 9th? We're tied at 8 on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Jordan Townley, the Cougar from Cal State San Marcos, a rising redshirt junior from Riverside City College, just finished his first season with the Cougars. 5.64 earned run average in 12 starts for Cal State. And he's in to pitch in relief for the Saints today. He's only pitched in 1 inning so far this summer, only faced 4 batters. So a very small sample size for Townley as he gets his feet underneath him in CCL play. Blues trying to walk it off against the Arroyo Seco Saints and snap a 2-game losing skid. Zach Tellerman leads it off. He's a perfect 3 for 3 today. A trio of singles with 2 RBIs and a walk. The reigning player of the week for the Blues. Here's the first pitch. Curveball, missing high and tight. That's ball 1. Townley is a Victorville, California native, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. Tellerman awaits in the right-handed batter's box as Townley gets the sign from his catcher Garber with a closed-off stance from the stretch, kicks and fires. 1-0, another curveball misses low, 2 balls and no strikes.
2-pitch guy, curveball, fastball. You see the fastball at about that 65% rate, curveball 35%, and we've seen 2 already to ZT, and it makes sense. ZT 3 for 3, also reached on a walk. It's a dangerous hitter to have leading off in the bottom of the 9th where you're trying to walk it off.
Tallman just trying to reach base here and put the winning run on first base. The 2-0. Tallman takes a fastball. There's a called strike.
He knows that. Unless he hits a home run, he's not winning this game right here. So just do your job. Try to find a gap. And as Nate says, home runs are accidental doubles. So if you try to hit a double, you never know.
Middle of the infield open. Wind still jetting out to center. The 2-1. Tellerman looks like he got hit on the forearm. I think it was the knob of the bat on that check swing. A foul ball to Zach Tellerman and a 2-2 count to the first baseman batting fourth for the Blues. ZT is a San Jose State Spartan. Westo Player of the Year 2 times at junior college up the road here in San Luis Obispo. Here's the 2-2. Tellerman with a half swing sends it straight back and stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a good 2-strike approach there from Tellerman. Get the stride and load out of the way early, and then he saw the curveball late and sat on it, and then was able to just foul it off and see another pitch.
Zach entered today's game with a .380 on-base percentage.
Gone up today.
Yeah. It's above average for college baseball standards for sure. The 2-2. Tellerman pops it up off the hands. The center fielder Hayworth charges in, throws on the brakes, and makes the grab with one hand. Zach Tellerman is the leadoff out in the 9th. That brings up Logan Hart. ZT is no longer perfect after being retired to lead off the frame. Logan Hart is 1 for 4 today. Hit a single in the 5th, came around to score on a sacrifice fly from Cam Andrews. Aside from that, RBI ground out, a fly out to left, and a ground ball right back to the pitcher. A JUCO bandit and a former Titan, or a current Titan, from Cal State Fullerton. With 1 out, here's the first pitch. Hart swings and sends it straight back for strike 1.
He was on that fastball. He saw it out of the hand, had it timed up, but a little on top of it and fouled it back.
Logan making his 7th appearance for the Blues this summer. He has 5 hits in his 18 at-bats for San Luis Obispo. He's driven in 2 runs, no homers, 1 extra base hit. It was a double. Here's the 0-1. Hart will take it and a called strike 0-2. A 50-50 call from the home plate umpire, but the lefty now has to battle with 2 strikes. Townley, the new pitcher from Cal State San Marcos, in the driver's seat against Logan Hart. With 1 out, here's the pitch. Hart chases and misses for strike 3. Logan goes fishing, a drop third strike, and the throw to first is in time for the 2nd out of the 9th.
Now it's done to Brendan Comerford if the Blues want to get it done in regulation.
Comerford having a sneaky good day, 2 for 4 with a couple of singles, an RBI single in the 5th. Pair that with a fly ball to right and a strikeout swinging in the 3rd. His time is limited as a Blue. He wants to make a lasting effect here in San Luis Obispo before he's off to Gonzaga. With 2 outs, the first pitch. Comerford hits it off the hands and fouls it out of play, strike 1. That's what Townley's been good at so far in his early outing against the Blues, strike 1. He's done it to all 3 batters faced in this inning. And what has been an offensive game for both of these teams. Both combining for 22 hits. The 0-1, Comerford pops it up high in the air behind home plate, but the catcher Garber won't have a play. It lands into the orange row for strike 2.
Sponsored by Pardon My French Bakery.
Kosei Suzuki stands on deck. He clobbered a double in the 2nd. The new pitcher, Townley, comes set from the stretch on a closed-off stance.
0-2.
The 0-2. Comerford takes it high, ball and 2 strikes.
Still ahead of the count is Townley.
Outfield playing shallow against Brendan. Slightly shifted to his pull side. Snyder, the left fielder, more than the others. Also playing deeper than his other 2 outfielders.
Alive in the bottom of the 9th. It's a tie.
Townley gets his sign, now comes set. 8-8 game, the 1-2. Comerford rolls out of the offering inside. Shakes his head in frustration. He knows he should have gotten hit by that pitch. Deuces wild to Brendan Comerford. Number 2 with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Townley getting set for the delivery. Comerford waiting for
Brendan with his toes on the dish.
Breaking ball.
Takes a curveball and it just misses below the zone for ball 3. Whew. He got a call there.
Makes the count 3-2. The umpire kept us on the edge of our seats there.
2,900 RPMs of movement on that curveball, Nate.
Wow.
That's
a lot
good.
of spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electric moment here at Sinsheimer Stadium.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs from Townley, the new pitcher. Here it comes. Comerford swings and misses for strike 3. Free baseball at Sinsheimer Stadium, notched at 8. We head into the top of the 10th inning on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. All right, here we go. Top of the 10th inning at Sinsheimer Stadium. Fans swaddled in their puffer jackets and blankets, ready for a Blues walk-off winner, but they got to get through the top of the inning first, where the Saints have an automatic runner. The leadoff man puts down a bunt. Comerford scoops it up. Nice throw over to first, but the sac bunt is successful from the batter in Garber. So Garber moves Milto into third base, and now the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Successful sac bunt. Here's Levi Medella. And Medella has been the best hitter of the day for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 3 for 4 day, 2 runs driven in, a trio of singles. He scored 2 runs as well. 16 runs between these two teams, 22 hits between them. But they also have 6 errors between them as well. We've seen it all at Sinsheimer today. Infield playing in with 1 out, and the lefty Medella digging in against Matt Betancourt. First pitch, Medella takes it, and it's high, 1-0. Levi, a Hawaiian native from Maui, Wailuku, Hawaii. 6'1", 210-pound rising sophomore at shorter. 1-0. Swings and misses for strike 1. The first baseman outfielder drove in 27 runs on his 32 hits his 2024 season at shorter. He redshirted his first year at Hawaii and redshirted this past season at Shorter University in 2025. Here's the 1-1. Pokes it the opposite way and serves a base hit into left field. The run will score, and it's a 9-8 game. The Saints now lead. That was hit hard off the bat of Medella, going the opposite way. 90 miles an hour, serving it into left field. That's how you do it. Sac bunt, opposite way single. 1-2-3.
And now, as a visiting team, you're looking for anything bonus, and I don't know how Cody Turner's still in this game.
That's the DH Turner who hits it off the hands. It's grounded to Murillo, and they will turn the double play to get out of the inning. But the Saints lead by 1. 4-hit day for Levi Medella. The Blues trail by 1. The tying run will be at second. Brendan Comerford is the automatic runner in scoring position. We'll see if the Blues can spark some magic. Slow Blues streaming now. All right, let's see if the Blues can walk it off in the bottom half of the 10th inning. The Saints took the lead, and the automatic runner in Joey Milto scored after Levi Medella cashed him in for his 4th base hit of the day. So now it's the Blues' turn. Brendan Comerford will be the automatic runner at second base, and Kosei Suzuki leads off the bottom half of the 10th. There's also a new pitcher for the Saints, Garrett McGeegan. In 4 1/3 innings pitched, he's faced 21 batters, 2 strikeouts to his 4 walks, allowed 5 hits and 2 earned runs this summer. So some hope here for San Luis Obispo as Kosei Suzuki digs in. 1 for 4 day for the LaSalle commit. He shows bunt, inside move, they go to second base and Comerford's back. Medella and Ryan, the first and third baseman respectively, were both crashing on that bunt from Kosei. And that's kind of the strategy when you get the automatic runner at second. Bunt him over and then slap a single. That's exactly what the Saints did. He shows bunt again and fouls it straight back for strike 1. Suzuki with a double in the second. He came around to score on a Cam Andrews double, who is due up in this inning. It's Suzuki, Ardois, and Andrews. That's the last 7 hitters in the order, as third base coach Rene Regalado calls for a meeting between the runner Comerford and the batter Suzuki. Trying to go over if they want to go for another bunt attempt. And they got their plan in store. They both walk back to their positions. Comerford at second and Suzuki in the batter's box. Suzuki also struck out, popped out to first, and lined into a double play. From the stretch, the new pitcher delivers. The 0-1 is foul tipped at home plate, and it's strike 2 to Kosei. Suzuki, starting in his 10th game of the summer for the Blues, has driven in 11 runs in just those 10 games played. Entering today's game, 11 for 41. 6 strikeouts to his 2 walks. Trying to be tough with 2 here against the new pitcher, McGeegan. The 0-2. Kosei hits a high and deep fly ball to left, but Snyder has a play on it. He comes back and makes the grab. Comerford bluffs from second base, and Suzuki flies out for the first out of the 10th.
An unproductive out, but Kosei just missed all of that baseball. Tried to send us home with 1 swing of the bat.
He sure did. Just hit it a little bit too high. That air is awfully dead up there with the fog coming in. It's cold tonight at Sinsheimer. 56 degrees, thick coastal air from that fog, and that baseball was going nowhere. Here's Sam Ardois. A 1 for 3 day with a single in the 4th. Pair that with a couple of Ks and a hit by pitch in the 5th. Ardois batting 8th today and playing shortstop. Sam takes outside, a backhanded stop from Garber. 1 ball, no strikes. Cam Andrews looms in the on-deck circle, arguably having the best day of any Blues hitter today. Saints up 9-8. They successfully scored the automatic runner from second in the top of the 10th inning on an RBI single from Medella. Here's the 1-0. Comerford takes off to third. The throw goes down to third, and he's in there safely with a feet first slide. Good jump from Brendan Comerford. That's a strong throw from Garber, but Brendan got a better jump.
Makes the job of Ardois a little bit easier. The infield's going to come in, which means a base hit will be easier to get through the infield as well. A fly ball will win it. They're gonna talk some strategy. I'm thinking it looked like the left fielder was kind of hinting at maybe we should pull another infielder. Not too sure.
So it's the pitching coach, Matt Stone, talking strategy on the hill. And Sam Ardois waits in a 2-0 count. The Blues trail by 1. Ardois, to score this run from third, and Comerford has to put a ball, or can put a ball in the outfield with the infield playing in, and Brennan can tag and score. That would leave Cam Andrews with 2 outs. He would have to hit a base hit to win this game. The left and center fielders are jogging into the infield, and you're exactly right, Ryan.
They're going to switch out his mitt, give him something a little bit smaller. It's Schneider, I believe, who's going to be a fifth infielder, which means if Ardois could put one down one of the lines, he might win this game on his own inside the ballpark.
Snyder is not listed as an infielder, just an outfielder from Wichita State, now in the transfer portal. And so now Hayworth will play in left center and Milto will play in right center.
The outfielders are also shallow.
Wind blowing straight out to left field now. It was going into center, now left. The 2-0. Ardois takes a curveball for a strike. Not a bad take in a 2-0 count. That's not the pitch you're looking to do damage on. Sam still in the driver's seat against Garrett McGeegan. The pitch. Ardois lines it into right center, a base hit. That'll score Brendan Comerford and tie the game.
Well, the Beers are close, but when the Blues score, that's a good thing.
Even with 5 infielders, Sam Ardois finds real estate and cashes in the tying run.
That was just a great swing right there from Ardois. He's got the slider again, sat back, and lined it through the, I don't even know what you call it, the 7-4 hole for an RBI hit, and now it's Cam Andrews, who's been the best hitter for the Blues today. A chance to win it.
Call it whatever you want. I'll call it clutch. The go-ahead run stands at first base. Here's Andrews. First pitch is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Cam a double and a triple, both scoring a run. Also a sacrifice fly and a strikeout swinging in the 8th. A big day for Cam. Gunning down a couple of runners on defense too as the catcher. Here's the 1-0. Andrews checks his swing, but it's a called strike, 1-1. Cam has driven in 5 this summer.
Doesn't include his 3 today.
The 1-1. Andrews pops it up, but it's out of play for strike 2.
The hit and run was on right there as Ardois was off of first.
A depleted crowd at Sinsheimer as the night gets older and the temperatures drop. Cam Andrews trying to give everyone a warm and fuzzy feeling. The 1-2. Andrews swings and misses for strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Garrett McGeegan. And that moves it to the top of the order, and E.J. Royal, who is hitless today, but sure knows how to be clutch. He hit a walk-off single into left center field earlier this summer.
Yeah, and I would say E.J. Royal is due. He's 0 for his last 11, which that does not happen often for E.J.
Blues down to their last out. Winning run at first base, it's Sam Ardois. The first pitch. Royal will take it for strike 1. Ardois with a slightly above average lead at first base. Kicking up the dust as the pitcher McGeegan comes set. With 2 outs, here it comes. Misses outside, and Garber keeps that from going into the backstop. That's ball 1. Defense playing straight up. A 1-1 count with 2 gone. The leadoff man, E.J. Royal, trying to be the hero. The 1-1. Royal swings and misses for strike 2. Slows down to their last strike.
One more strike and we head to the 11th. Saints looking to hold on with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 10th.
It's a tie game at 9 apiece. Sam Ardois drove in the tying run, Brendan Comerford. And now E.J. Royal tries to win it. Ardois takes off, E.J. takes high. Here's a throw to second. Stolen base for Ardois. Winning run in scoring position for the Blues. A 2-2 count to E.J. Royal.
And you know that if there's a base hit in the outfield, Rene Regalado is not stopping Sam Artois. I don't know if he knows what a stop sign is.
That is true. The 4-hole is wide open, and EJ knows how to go the opposite way. That is the one thing he works on in batting practice. Grounder the opposite way. The 2-2. EJ takes a sweeper outside. Good take from the leadoff man, Royal. A full count now to EJ.
Incredible take. I thought for sure he was going to swing at that pitch, but he was able to trigger. Yes, yes, no.
That's the type of hitter you got to be. Got to say yes before you say no. EJ athletic enough to hold up that offering. Right center gap wide open. The payoff. EJ takes low and outside. That's ball 4. The Blues won't go quietly yet. They don't want to go into the 11th. Here's Diego Murillo. Back-to-back plate appearances with a walk for EJ Royal.
EJ's had an odd day. Back-to-back 4-3 groundouts, back-to-back 6-3 groundouts, back-to-back walks. Patterns.
I love baseball. Here's Diego Murillo, 1 for 3 with a single in the first. He's got a couple of walks too, and he swings and foul tips it for strike 1.
Has that fastball timed up. Anytime you see a batter foul it back to the screen, it means they had pretty good timing on it. Just weren't able to find the barrel.
Diego entered today's game with a .260 average. 6 runs batted in. Number 7 could be the biggest of the year for Murillo. Time is called the dish and steps out. And ready to go. The former Riverhawk from Northeastern State in Oklahoma. With 2 outs, the 0-1. Murillo ducks underneath a curveball for ball 1. Don Jordan stands on deck. For now, it's the second baseman, Murillo, the 2-hole hitter for the Blues. Outfield playing shallow against the second baseman, the 1-1. Diego hits it off the hands. It's a bleeder into center field. Hayworth charges it. Here's the green light to Artois. Diego Murillo wins the game for the Blues. Third walk-off winner of the summer. The Blues win against the Saints as he hurls his batting gloves into the night sky.
We will see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
What a win for San Luis Obispo.
Seco 9.
Diego Murillo gets it done. He only had 1 hit in this game prior to that, but a walk, and a hit by pitch. He'd been seeing the ball well all day long, and he walks it off. Nate, we got to talk about it. Who is the dog of the day? Does he get it for the walk-off, or does Cam Andrews get it with the 3 RBIs, the double and the triple? Oh my God! What do we think?
Let's get the press box involved on this.
Diego?
We got a Diego. We got a Cam Andrews. I want to go to the chat on this one again. I like when we went to the chat.
I think the biggest thing you might have for Diego is he reached base 5 times.
He did.
That is electric. Let's create a poll here for those of you who are still watching.
Yeah, we'll hang around a bit and talk some ball after we put this poll up. Final pitch was at 9:40 p.m. for this ball game. That means it was a 3-hour and 37-minute game. Not bad for 11 innings. It is a great celebration. For how shallow the center fielder Hayworth was playing, I didn't really think there was a chance that Artois was going to score because it was hit so softly, and I go, oh, well, they have it played perfectly. I don't think this is going to score Artois. But it does, and the Blues win 10-9 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. They snap a 2-game losing streak against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they have a happy bus ride back home.
Yeah, I think the center fielder, Hayworth, lost it. I think it snuck under his glove, and that's why Artois was able to score. Also, it was going to be a really close play at the plate. And overall, the Blues just able to get it done in walk-off fashion. And honestly, they gave up 9 runs, but I think it was one of their cleaner games of the season. Not a ton of walks. The errors were a little bit of an issue, but the bats showed up. Yeah. I think it was overall one of the better games for the Blues all around.
And it's really good to see a game like this, especially after such a heartbreaking loss against the Santa Barbara Foresters, when you blow the lead, and it's your rival too, and they can't come back and win it. against SB. So a feel-good story here at Sinsheimer Stadium. First walk-off win of the summer for Murillo, who is starting to get back up on the incline in this season after kind of hitting a skid there. He's starting to look good. He's having confidence in that 2-hole, and it's all smiles here at Sinsheimer.
Yeah, make sure you vote on that poll. I'll give you the final stat lines. Diego Murillo, 2 for 3, with 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a hit by pitch as well as that walk-off single in the 10th. Cam Andrews, he went 2 for 4 with a double, a triple, 3 RBIs, a run scored. Those are the 2 final lines for our Dog of the Day candidates. Make sure you give that a vote. We're very split up here, so you guys are going to be the deciding vote, I think, today.
Yes, please make a decision in the chat. We have an interactive poll here. I think it looks to be in white from our end. There's a white box on top. There should be some text giving you Diego Murillo's final line and Cam Andrews' final line too. It's a close one. I really want to reward slugging so much for Cam Andrews. He had such a good day. Let's talk about Cam Andrews' day. An RBI double, an RBI triple, and a sac fly, and spectacular defense behind the dish.
Yeah, I mean, 2 caught stealing as well, which we didn't even mention. Diego Murillo played a solid game out there at second, but I mean, a double really to kick off the offense in the second inning, and then that triple that single-handedly gave the Blues an extra run in the 4th inning. It's just so close. I mean, I don't even know who to pick, but both really good games.
Again, I want to reward slugging here. I feel like it's got to be Cam Andrews, but Ryan, you make a good point, though. Diego Murillo reached base 5 times today.
That's super impressive.
Yes.
Cam Andrews, granted, he only had 5 opportunities to reach base, so 1 less, but a sac fly is an RBI. I think the biggest thing for Cam Andrews, obviously, is slugging, and he had 3 RBIs, which are all huge in this game where you walk it off, right?
That is huge. I mean, you got to get there somehow. And yes, it's a good point. Give it to both. That is something we have considered a little bit, and with how tight this race is.
Let's give it to both.
Let's give it to both.
Get Murillo and Andrews in a photo together.
It.
Get them in a Polaroid. How about it?
Come on now. Okay, so Diego and Cam Andrews, the co-dogs of the day. Hopefully our photographer, Julianne, can get them both in that Polaroid as soon as possible. But good victory for the Blues. 10-9 win, a walk-off winner. They return tomorrow against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Same time, same place at Sinsheimer Stadium. Thanks for listening. The Blues Baseball and the SLO Blues Streaming Network. For Ryan Giacomini, I am Nate Mills.